Hi everybody, this is Christine Bertram and I am coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It's the 22nd of May today, it's Thursday, and the week is seeming to fly right by. I think Monday and Tuesday started off a little bit slower, but then all of a sudden we were talking about tomorrow and the girls said, well, tomorrow's Friday. And I said, no, there's one more day yet. They're like, no, tomorrow's Friday. So, but that's all right because we got a lot accomplished this week, you guys. Oh my gosh, I have to show you, I gotta show you. You guys wanna see what we've been working on? Okay, there's a lot going on here. Don't ask me why I always schedule a lot of things, but I just have a tendency of just scheduling a lot of things in general. And we have the culmination of a lot of stuff coming up starting in June. And the crazy thing is the Stamp and Fun in the Sun is coming up June 4th through the 8th. And we're almost set for that, which is amazing. The event is 2 weeks from yesterday is the first day. And everything's kitted. Everything's almost, all the attendance gifts are almost done. The pillow gifts, everything's almost done, which is really great, right? Awesome. I'm so excited. And then this is the first year that we're throwing in an extra event called Paper Palooza. And as of this morning at 3 o'clock, all of the cards are finished and they're designed, yay. And so I'm going to show you 21 cards fully done that are going to be for the Paper Palooza. So of those 21 cards, I had 4 people here today, and we were kidding. And we kitted, I think, 9 of the 21 that are sitting here ready to put in the packaging, right? So be cool. So 9 of 21. And then I had some helpers here this week that were helping me sort out papers and the designer series paper for the event and the product shares, which is super cool. Okay, so that was going on. And it's just a lot. And then but that doesn't include June. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, it's June 22nd today. And my goal is to do a showcase with you guys. Probably, if I had to guess, it'll be next Thursday, the 29th, okay? If I can, I'll do it on Wednesday, the 28th, but I'm not certain how that's gonna work. So there's gonna be a June showcase, but we have these 2 amazing other things that are coming up, and that's where we've been focusing our time and energy, and there's nothing designed for card classes for June. So I was just thinking about that. I'm like, oh man, well, I've got to get my butt in gear. So this weekend and into early next week, it's going to be designing. There's 4 classes that I'm designing, and then Rose designs her technique club class. So I think, there's only 4 extra class. There's only 4 classes. I think only 4 classes. So, but yeah, throw in 21 extra cards into the mix for a month, and that adds a lot. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what is going on with the crazy in the Hive. It's amazing. The countertop is clear, but everything else is full. So hi, Sherry Martin. Hi, Doris Munson. Hello, Linda and Connie. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Susan. There's Sarah Merchant. Hi, Sherry Stewart. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Deanne. Hi, Jean. Hi, Randy. Hi, Linda. There's Faye. Hi, Jamie Kirkpatrick. Pat She Bischoff. I'm going to catch you right now so I don't have to send you an email. So there were, I think, 8 or 9 people that I got packages out today. And those are the people that were waiting for their in-color club for the month of May. I did not expedite those orders, and I believe I messaged everybody and I said I wasn't going to be expediting orders. So all that product arrived while I was in Florida. I was able to go through everything on Thursday and stage everything yesterday. And so my mom was here today, and she helps me do shipping. And so Mom and I got 8 packages done today, and those are the people that are part of my in-color club. So Pat She Bischoff, just so you know, you have 2 boxes coming to you. One is your prize from the MS benefit raffle. You won one of the bigger items that is a die cutting machine, I think, that was raffled off. It was, somebody donated it. So that's 1 box. That is going via UPS, okay, because it was more economical and financially better to do it via UPS. Don't ask me why, but your other box full of all your other things for the month of May is going to go via the U.S. Postal Service, okay? So you've probably got 2 shipping notices, and now you know why. It's not a mistake, and you can tell me if the UPS or the USPS shows up faster. I'm curious. They both got delivered within minutes of each other. All right, so there's a little update for you and for anybody else who is part of my In Color Club. I do have just a few more things here for people who are just an update on product shares. Product shares are almost done. We have the oh, you guys, I gotta show you the embellishments. Judy Immel did a phenomenal job doing the embellishments, and Jill Butzine does the ribbons. And what's here is Sharon was in today. Sharon helped me sort out all of the designer series paper today. So for those of you who are getting product shares, but not part of your Stampin' Fun in the Sun or part of Paper Palooza, if you're getting a standalone product share, those will be shipping out soon. I don't know if I'll get them done tomorrow or if it'll be Tuesday, but just know some of you are still holding out for the product shares that are shipping by themselves. So we're doing May was a staged month. All right, so I'm going to show you all this stuff, you guys. It's pretty cool. All right, hello Debbie, hello Pat Smothers, hi Elaine Rebeck, long time no see. Hi Ann Bellinger. Oh my goodness, Ann made us, Kelly and me, the cutest little Minnie Mouse little tote bags, you guys, and they're upstairs. And so sometime, Ann, I'll have to bring those down and share those. I will show those off during show and tell. Hi, Jean. Hello, Lynn. Hi, Julie. And there's Nedra. Hi, Cindy Runtry. Hi, Margene. Hello, Julie. And Julie. And there's Kelly. Hi, Debbie Stone. Hi, Donna. And Donna, did your caddy arrive to you? I mailed that out before I left for Disney. I'm guessing that you should have gotten it before now. Hopefully it came. So hello, Nancy Mole. You're not very tardy. We just got started. I was 4 minutes late, but that is because I was not expecting to have to run upstairs to get all my technology. You guys, Kelly finished off a kit class today that she started in April. It was that paper bouquet. We got a kit that didn't have the wires in them, and we had to wait for Stampin' Up! To send us the wires, and it had to work into Kelly's schedule. So all my technology was upstairs, and so at 2 minutes to 6, I went to go live, and nothing was here. So I had to run upstairs, and then, you know how it goes. Kittens distract you for a minute, and then all of a sudden it's 4 after 6. So, but we're here. Okay. Before I go, well, I'm going to show you things. But over here, you guys, you can see I've got some paper pumpkins. I have 2 from April, in case you missed out on the inked, I don't remember the name. Inked Occasions. Inked Occasions is from April. I have 2 of those. And I have 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate for the May pumpkin? I got a couple extra for May because I forgot that the 10th rolled around really fast with preparing for the trip and preparing the DSP sampler, that I forgot to take off a couple off of my recurring subscription. So if anybody's looking for the May paper pumpkin, please reach out. Kelly is going to be doing the May paper pumpkin class next week. So I do have an abundance of them in case you're looking for any. So that's that. And let's see here. You guys, I'm going to do a little field trip in the Hive. And we're going to do everything we can not to lose the connection, which I've done it once, but not normally. It's not a normal thing to disconnect and lose you guys. So I am going to take this off. So if you get dizzy, just hold tight. You guys get to see a little behind the scenes of what's happening here. So I'm going to flip around. So now you can see over here, in case you guys were ever wondering, I have a baby Groot up there. I don't know if you can see him. There's a light shining on him, but Cheryl Taylor made that for me. I love baby Groot. All right. So let's flip it this way. And now you guys get to see what's going on in the Hive. All right. Over here, this countertop, when I've shown this countertop to you in the past, it is abundantly full of everything, usually staged with people's shipments. And so you can see now, this countertop runs all the way over. It's almost all completely clear, you guys. It's an amazing thing to see, so that the countertop is cleared off. But over here, this is ready to go. These are the DSP, oh, where's my finger? These are the DSP samplers. All of these are staged with people's names on them, ready to go out in June for the Stampin' Fun in the Sun. And these are the ones that I have extra. So I think in all I have about 25 of them, and I'll show that off to you in a minute, what it looks like. This is what Judy's got, and she made up all of my embellishment shares, you guys. Well, I'll show these off on the camera, or when I can actually open it up. But this is what I was talking about for the Paper Palooza. There were like 4 of my gals were in today, and so they kitted up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards today. 9 times 96, so 9 times about 100 is about 900 cards. That's what I have to ask my mom how her feet feel tonight when she gets home. But they did 900 cards today. And then staged and on the docket for tomorrow, there's one more here, which is one of the Paper Palooza cards. And then there's another one that I have upstairs. And one of the things for the Stampin' Fun in the Sun, just to show you guys, they're all staged and ready to get married up tomorrow. That's what the girls are coming in tomorrow. And then this is for the Stampin' Fun in the Sun. I've got and Paper Palooza, some attendance gifts, and all the papers staged. I forgot to talk about this bag, you guys. This bag is going to be given away. I'm doing a drawing. This is a bag. Oh, and there's Hunky Noodle. That is the bag I got during Onstage in Raleigh. And I asked my girls during my sale-a-bration celebration what I should do with it. And they said, you should give it away as a prize and put anybody's name who signs up on your team or your direct teams. So first, second, third level. If they sign up during the month of May, do that bag as a drawing. So that's what's happening with that bag. These are the scrapbook card. So this guy right here is one of the mini classes, more attendance gifts. And then this is one of the mini classes, all here. And then this is another one of the mini classes. And what I mean by the mini classes, you guys, that one in the black envelope is this card, that scrapbooking card. The business size card class looks like that. I know this is really wonky with the camera, but so we got that one all kitted up. So those 3 cards. And then the book here is all kitted up where you get the 4 cards and you make a little book. And then the other one is the 5 cards that I had pointed out right over there. There was 5 cards that are the in color class. So yeah, so crazy, you guys. So this is what it kind of looks like behind the scenes. I'm going to flip the camera around. So yay. Oh, it's been busy. So I have the embellishment share that I'm going to share with you. And I'm also going to share the ribbon. So I'm going to put this back. And Hunky Noodle, you guys, he got a drink. He's like, Mom, when are you going to play with us? Let us outside. All right, let me put this back in here. And I'm going to plug it back in. Just, not that it's dead, but it's at 100%. Oh, man. You guys hear that? That was like dominoes. Okay, there's that. Okay, so let me flip down and share with you. I haven't been watching comments. If you guys have been commenting, I haven't seen anything yet because I don't have comments on my tablet up here. But let me flip this down. And that's all shiny, so let's do that. This is the embellishment share that Judy Immel made. Oh my goodness, hang on. That guy needs to go right there. She put together, oh my gosh, you guys, it's amazing. I'm still taking reservations or registrations for this embellishment share. It is a sampling of everything that released from March on. That's how I'm going to be doing my product shares. So now that they have online exclusives every other month. So when a catalog launches, I'm going to grab the previous release of online exclusives plus the catalog. So some of this stuff launched in March, some launched in May in the annual catalog, and some launched in May in the online exclusives. But that is the embellishment share. It is so pretty. Let me show you the ribbon that Jill did. So the ribbon is a 2-part process. My mom cuts all the ribbon and then Jill wraps all of the ribbon and she puts it nicely into this adorable little like rainbow color order. She just did a phenomenal job. You get a sampling of everything that released from March on. So March online exclusives, May online exclusives, and May annual catalog. She even wrapped all of those nicely back onto the little spool. So this is a sampling of all the in colors, the new basic beige. I don't know why, but there's 3. There's 3 white ribbons, and that's how that goes, I guess. And then gold, and then the turtle. But this is the ribbon share, and this is the embellishment share, and then the DSP sampler share. I have all of it, you guys. There's availability for everything yet. So if you were waiting to see what stuff looked like before signing up, that's okay. We're still in the process of creating. We got everything created for those that are registered, and we have the capability of producing more. We can definitely do that. I will share with you guys, in case you want to get more information on the shares. If you go to, so I have some happy mail here to share with you guys too. If you go to my website, cardsbychrisb.com, and you go to my events calendar, the date you're looking for on my calendar is May 6th. That's the magical day that the catalog launched. That's where you can find product share offerings, the DSP sampler, and when you click on it, this is what it tells you, that you can get DSPs, ribbons, embellishments, and it talks about what's all included and the price and all that good stuff. The other thing too is it says if you want the DSP in the form of the paper Palooza, getting all the card kits, I'll talk to you about that in a moment. You could always add on, you could do the Palooza and add on the ribbon and add on the embellishments. And the ribbon and the embellishments, like for this whole little assortment here, the ribbons I think were $29 plus shipping, and all the embellishments were $26 plus shipping. So you get a sampling of everything. And what's great about that is then you can figure out, well, I like this, I want more. Or, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't get this. I have enough here to make me happy for the rest of my life. So, yay. All right. So, yeah, they did a phenomenal job, you guys. Judy Immel's been helping me with those embellishment shares from the very beginning, and Jill's been helping me with the ribbon. So, people ask me about how many helpers I have, and when they ask me, I'm like, I have a lot of helpers, because I have helpers who specifically help me with like one thing, or sometimes they'll help me with multiple things, and they are my ribbon and embellishment gurus. So thanks for giving me a thumbs up, Julie, and asking everybody else too. Hello, Feline. And Feline, you were the winner chicken dinner, you guys. I had a team challenge that I did about a month ago. I think it was due by the end of April. Yeah, something like that. Everybody in my team, I asked them to take a selfie with the annual catalog so we could make a team graphic. And Feline, you were the lucky winner. So I was going to give away, I am giving away a bundle. And everybody was supposed to put what bundle they wanted when they registered with their picture. And I don't think a lot of people did that. So what we did is we randomly picked a winner, and it was Feline. So Feline, you'll have to tell me what you want, and we can follow up with that later too. But congratulations. Good job, girlfriend. All right. You guys are going to start to see that team graphic. It'll be at the bottom of my emails. The team graphic that I currently have at the bottom of my emails is from my upline, who created it with all of my sidelines. And so I decided it was time for my team, for us to have our own graphic. And so Kelly helped me put that together. And so I'm so excited. All right. So road trip. Yes, Nancy, you should. My mom is a treasure. She sure is, Elaine. I am the luckiest girl around. And Jean said, how many Fun in the Sun kits are left? I had somebody sign up today, and I think I'm down to 7. So it's winding down there. The event is in 2 weeks. And I would like to think that by the time the event launches, it'll be full. So I don't want you to wait any longer. Get off the fence and go with whatever your gut says. If it says to hold back and not do it, follow that. And if it says just do it, just do it. All right. So perfect, Feline. Look back at the team challenge if you can. I don't know if I had a cap, if it was like $50, I think, for a bundle. I think I wrote you get a free bundle, or I don't know. We'll have to coordinate. I don't remember what I put that the winner gets, so we'll have to just check that out. So, all right. So those are the shares for the embellishments and the ribbon. The DSP is going to be, I think it said 157 6x6 sheets. And it's going to be a little stack of paper, you guys. So the Palooza, I'm going to share the cards for the Palooza here, but I'm also going to share the DSP sampler. So for the DSP sampler, you guys, these are all, you saw that if you were watching, you saw the box was full. I have about 25 of these unaccounted. We made 90, and to only have 25 left, I'm pretty excited about that. And it's for the annual catalog, which is going to be around for the next year. So there's still time in case people are watching this video later in life. You can always reach out to me and see if there are any left. And how it works is you will get a package that has all the white sheets, all the designer papers, and all the little cardstock swatches. And then you're responsible for gluing and adhering these together. And it is a sampler that includes all of the March DSPs, the May DSPs, and we included in 2 from January that weren't part of the last sampler. So just know, some of you have already been getting yours in the mail. And you are going to have, this goes like this. You're going to notice a few things that are not necessarily printed correctly. And one of them is this Voho Vibes. You guys, I really thought the boho vibes had 12 unique patterns, and upon cutting the paper, we realized that there weren't 12 unique patterns. So if you're already gluing yours together and you're wondering why there are extra squares, it's because I did not read the description that said that there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 unique patterns, dual-sided. So what's going to happen when you guys go to put them down, you're going to get some extra blank spaces. Now, a way that you could not have your extra squares is hold the phone and don't glue it. The PDF that I'm going to be sending out to everybody in the near future, Kelly just created it today. The PDF that I send out in the next 24 to 48 hours, she fixed the boxes. So if you want to reprint this on your own white cardstock at home, you could reprint this page and they'll be centered in the middle and you won't have this. Now, I will also say though, if you use an ink eraser, you can ink erase, and if I do it a little bit more, the ink comes off. So you could always ink erase them off if you wanted to, but just a little update on that. So this has all of the different designer series paper. So Cute as This Can Be is one that released in January, but it was part of the scrapbooking brochure, and they didn't have an early release on it, so we couldn't include that in the last one. And then this one is the other dumb one. Sorry, nothing's dumb. But this one, Everyday Happiness, I thought it had 4 DSPs and it only had 3. So I took my ink eraser. You can faintly see there's a line there. I took my ink eraser and I erased the extra lines that were there. But otherwise you're going to have, they were supposed to be set up to have 4 here. But anyways, another one where if you wait for the PDF, you can reprint this page if you so choose or desire. So Florals in Bloom, Floral Impressions, Kintsugi, and then Lovely Garden on the Go. Totally cute. Woven Textures. So tonight for class, we're featuring Woven Textures. So this one had 4 different patterns, and that's what we're going to be using for the card class tonight. So we've got our Woven Textures is what's being featured now. Hello, Sue Deppis. A little bit of a lot of a stack. You betcha. Oh man, speaking of a stack, you guys, don't forget, I have to put it in my radar. We have class. I won't forget, I promise. But we have class tomorrow morning. There's a Stamp-A-Stack. Fun folds on steroids. 22 cards for class tomorrow. I have the PDF done. I need to get it emailed out to you guys. I will email it tonight. But we'll be live at 10 doing the Stamp-A-Stack class. And I have, let's say, potentially 2 or 3 left of that class, and then it's gone, and we're not going to kit up more. Okay, so here is the specialty page, and then this is the annual catalog one. So this is the one that has all of the in color families on it. So you guys, this was a massive designer series paper. My brother told me how many pieces of, you want to know how many pieces, individual pieces there were on here. My brother sent me this screenshot. 48,960 pieces of paper, not including the white cardstock, is what was touched by about 5 to 6 people. Well, Callie, Sean, Kelly, me, my mom, and Chris, and Annette, and Tyler, and there's got to be one more. 9 or 10 people touched almost 50,000 pieces of paper to make 90 of these. So when they're gone, they're gone. And again, I have about 25 of them left available. So, okay. Now, you guys are inquiring minds want to see the paper Palooza would be my guess. All right. So we talked about the Stamp and Find the Sun that I'm winding down. I'm not winding down, but registration is going to be closing soon. I always do by a certain day or once capacity is reached. And so it says on the event May 9th, but there are spots available. So there's between 5 and 10 left for the Stamp and Fun in the Sun. And then the other event is the Paper Palooza. We're kitting up 96 for that one. And I believe the last time I checked, there were 72 people signed up, which means I have room for about 22 to 24 more, let's say. I haven't checked in the last week. I haven't been good about getting caught up on my emails. I'm sorry, sad face. I can't deny that though, that if you're waiting for an email, I appreciate your patience. So let me just say that. So I think there's about 20 or so left of the Paper Palooza. And again, my mom, she asked me today, she's like, when you're done, you're done. I'm like, yes, Mom, I won't get more. I promise. I won't put anybody else through this. So I'm going to show you the 21 cards. This is a collaborative effort with Amanda Waldhart. We weren't able, I'm sad. I love designing with people. So I love sitting face to face and two brains working together. And we weren't able to do that with this project, but we were able to collaborate before, after, and during, but we weren't able to sit face to face. And so we tag teamed it. And I knew that I needed to create her cards and so that you guys could see them. And so what was great about it is so awesome working with Amanda because she's so flexible and easygoing, and it's good, right? It's good to have somebody like that you can design with. So we have 21 cards. They're like hot off the press. I finished recreating her cards this morning. And so I'm going to show them to you. And so hopefully, if you guys are on the fence about doing the Paper Palooza, you'll get off the fence because I just realized I'm like, holy Moses, 21 cards for one thing is like, it's a lot. So I don't know if it'll ever be 21 cards again, but that's how it is. So hello, Barbara Godby. You can't do the Stamp-A-Stat class going to your niece's graduation, but that's okay because the replay is always there, which is great. And your niece's graduation is more important. I definitely agree with that. Okay, so I'm going to show you the 21 cards. Now, in some cases, there's two-ish of the same card, meaning that I might have used different DSP between the two cards, just to give you another idea of how it looks. Because what happens is you're going to get your DSP in your goodie bag. And you're going to get about 150, I think it's about 157 6x6 sheets. So you're basically getting one 6x6 of all of the DSP that was in that sampler that I just showed you. And that's 21 different packs. And you could alter your cards. You're going to get the kits. Like you saw the envelopes over there. They're kitted with the cardstock, any die cuts, anything embossed is embossed. And every one of these cards is basically featuring a sentiment on the front. So you do not need any specific stamp set to finish these cards. You need sentiments and some different colors of ink. And for those that are just starting off stamping and you might not have a whole bunch of inks, if you had black and blue, that's what a lot of these are, or like a pink, you'd probably get by. But you don't have to ask me even what stamp sets were featured because basically we ran the gamut of just, we knew what label or size we wanted to use and we found a sentiment to match it. So, okay, so I'm going to cruise through these and show you, oh man, there's a lot, okay? So, and one more thing, because there's 21 cards, this was started off for me as an online only event. And again, Amanda and I are collaborating. So if you know Amanda Waldhart and you do business with her and you want to sign up with her, just know she's offering the same event. It's the exact same setup, everything. And if you want to support her and her business, go absolutely support her. And if you want to support me, I appreciate it too. Either way, we're just happy to work together and provide something like this for you guys. And we had to work smarter with regards to the layouts. There are not 21 unique designs per se. There are actually 11 different designs. And what happens is, of the 11 designs, one of those designs gets used one time and the other 10 designs get 2 cards each. So there's going to be, it's like a tag team, right? So we paired up like different products together or designer paper together, and I'll show those to you because it's really cool because you might not even know that it's the same layout because the designer series paper makes it look completely different. But so that's part of it too. And just a lot of cardstock, you guys. If you think about 21 times 20, what was I trying to get at? Envelopes. I was trying to do the math to figure out how many envelopes this project took. 96 times 21. If somebody does the math, that's how many envelopes are being used just for this Paper Palooza. Okay, so let's see what I've got here. I have this set of cards first. I have 2 of each, basically. And this is the layout, right? And we featured the kintsugi and the boho. And with that, you get different designer paper. So you could cut, your guys are going to be cutting your own paper. Now, I did provide an option for my in-person community that if you want to come, I think on July 18th or 19th, I'm going to have open house style with 21 stations set up that you can come in and stamp your sentiments and see a template of how to cut your paper, right? So I am going to be having a quasi in-person element to the event. All right, so on this one, same layout, 2 different designer papers, but on this one, again, I had mentioned that you could choose different designer paper, right? So if you don't like this pattern, you could pick that pattern, and there's a different element of this one that has different colors. So you could just think about, you'll get the layout and you're going to cut your paper, and then you need a sentiment for the inside. So don't even read my sentiments. I was just trying to find the, here you go. I know a good thing when I see it, and I see lots of good things in you. Ha, there it is. So I just pulled different sentiments that fit in those that hexagon. So that's one layout. Now tag team that layout. 2,116 envelopes. Thanks, Julie Bierschbach. It was a lot of envelopes. All I know is it was like a ton of envelopes. So same layout. Now this uses kintsugi, but I changed it up because you guys will get the blue paper. You could put that pattern on the bottom, and you could put that pattern on the bottom. And what we're going to do is this embossing folder is the eyelet, and like this one's that new joined together, and we're going to give you one of your card kits with joined together, which are these 2, and then we're going to give you one of your card kits with the eyelet, and then you can pick and choose which one you want for each one, right? So that you can switch it up a little. And then so okay, so this goes with this one and that goes with that one. All right, so that's the first one using those 2 patterns. I'm going to run out of space. Okay, the next one features the florals of bloom, right? And there's only basically one style for this one because it's basically the same card. It just depends on where you cut your designer paper. But so there's your florals of bloom, and then we tag team that with the brights from the color family. So brights featuring Melon Mambo with Coastal Cabana. So same layout, but they completely look like different cards, right? Because of different products being used. So that's another one. So you'll get, like a normal card kit for me, you'll get the base, anything embossed as a mat, you'll get mats cut, you'll get any die cutting. The ribbon and the gems will be in the cards as well. And then the only thing not included in the specific card kit is the designer paper, because you'll cut that yourself from your goodie bag. All right, so this one features the In Color family, the new In Color family. And you'll either get flowers, so you'll make that one, or you'll get leaves, right? So this is basically the same card. It's just that you're either going to get one set of the designer paper or the other, because you won't get both. You'll get one or the other. And then the same thing happens with this. This is subtles, and you'll either get the leaf set or you'll get the flowers. And we're going to coordinate it to the best of my ability that if you get flowers for this one, you'll get leaves for this. And if you get flowers for this, you'll get leaves for this, so that you get 2 different. So that's what my goal is. I'm just going to take a little coordinating before we lose the track of it all. So that's on the front end. So that's that layout. Very cool. I've learned Amanda loves cuts of, this is one of her styles. She loves to take strips of designer paper. And the other thing that's really cool about this is if you're not a fan, so let's say you're like, I don't like strips of paper like that. I don't ever get it to look nice, and I just don't get it looking good. The great thing about this is you wouldn't have to follow this exact layout. You're going to get a base, you're going to get an embossed mat, you're going to get the 2 punched out, the ribbon and the gems, and you could, let's say you just want cloud cover, you could take your piece of 6x6 cloud cover DSP and cut it to be a full piece as a mat and go with that route, and you wouldn't have to do this. So this is what's really cool about when you get your own designer paper. You can improvise and use your own creativity. Hello, Karen Wetstein. Hello, Michelle. So that's that style. And then another one that Amanda had was this style right here. So this is like a puzzle card to me. Well, that's what I call these kind of cards, where you have a mixture of different designer paper that you put together. And again, if you don't like what we picked for your 4 squares, or for our 4 squares, you could pick all the same pattern, right? So again, you guys can change these up. You got your base, your mat, your label, your ribbon and your gems, and then the inside mat, right? So again, just know that you can use your creativity to its own end, right, with these. And so this features the celebratory sips, and this one features on the go, right? So that's that layout. This layout features the botanical prints, and it features the turtle paper, but you will never know there's turtle paper there. That is on the back side. There are the crazy turtles on there. So those two are paired up together. And this one though, it is a black label, so you'll need potentially some white ink or some embossing powder with white or like a lighter color that would complement, right? Because it is going to be a black label. So that is that pair. So those are the ones that Amanda came up with. And then I did show these off on Monday, but not everybody was watching on Monday. I know that. So I will share the ones that I worked on. And so these are the pair that they're the same layout. This features the Irresistible Blooms designer paper. So that white is embossed on there, and you just need to ink blend it with a brush and cherry cobbler. And then I had the Meant to Be paper. So again, you can change up all your sentiments. I made mine into a Valentine's Day card, but you could easily make it into a birthday or a thinking of you. This one kind of is wedding-esque. What's super cool about all these cards is they're very versatile. There's a lot of occasions going on. And then this one features the lovely garden and the impressions of bloom, or blooming impressions. I think it's impressions of bloom. And so those are those two layouts. I liked the idea of the diagonal. And again, whatever sentiments you want to put, that's all you'll need on these. And then I had also Woven Textures and Everyday Happiness. So these were basically the same layout. And this one I searched high and low. I thought this would be a perfect sympathy card. And I'm still looking, but I couldn't find the sentiment to go here that would fill up the label very nicely. But that was, I thinking that it would be a great sympathy card. And then You're the Best. I put that on both of them, but you're better than all the rest, right? And if I can find a sympathy, I'm going to put that on there to change it out. But that's what the cool thing about it is. You guys can use whatever you want for your sentiments that you have at home. I also got Weekend Adventure, and I got the in colors from last year that carried over. So I, of course, chose Petunia Pop. All right. So same layout, just two different cards. And so that's that one. Now for this one though, you'll have two options. Well, you won't have two options. You're either going to get the leaves or you're going to get the flowers. Okay. So you'll get one or the other. So, and this is the reverse of this, which is really cool. Okay. And then this one I also had, I'm going to say my favorite one for last. I also had Neutrals, which includes Blackberry Bliss, and I had Regals. And so this is the layout that I did. And this is another one where if you get leaves for this, I'm going to try to make sure you get flowers for this. And if you get flowers for this, I'm going to try to make sure you get leaves. Not that you get both leaves. And if you do, they both look great in leaves and they both look great in flowers, right? So it really wouldn't be that big of a deal. And then the last guy, the Lonely Soldier that doesn't have a partner, because he's so amazing by himself. He doesn't need a partner. This is Tyler's favorite. And this is from the beautiful Motifs Designer Series paper. And I'm going to show you how to cut this. And it's super cool. It's just a simple, nice, elegant, awesome, like over-the-top card. I love it. So, and I don't have anything stamped on my inside. So I got to do that yet. But that one says congratulations, but you could do birthday. And so how this is going to work, you guys, because it's generally an online-only event, except for if you're local and you want to come and do your stamping as an open house style, you can definitely do that. We are going to create, I think, 11, I might do 10 videos. I might just piggyback this guy into a different one, but how they are kind of paired up, we're going to do a video for the pairs. So there'll be 10 videos because I'll probably do that landscapey, outdoorsy one with one of them. And Amanda's going to do 5 of those videos and I'm going to do 5 of those videos. And they're going to be unlisted YouTube videos. And Jolene's going to create the most Mac Daddy PDF tutorial of them all with all 21 cards in it. And she's going to have QR codes for the videos and she's going to have all the supply lists and she's going to have all the measurements and all the good stuff. And it's going to be this massive PDF tutorial. Okay. I feel a little bit bad for her because she's got that one to work on and she has the Stampin' Fun in the Sun one to work on. And she's got ink, paper, scissors to do yet. So she's got a lot of tutorial writing in her future. And so the Paper Palooza registration includes the kits for those, the paper, an attendance gift that is going to be awesome, 2 pillow gifts, and the the videos and then the PDF tutorial. So that's what you all get with it. Some people were asking, well, I have all the supplies. I don't want to get anything from you. Can I get the no box option? Well, we created a no box option, which is the PDF tutorial with access to all the videos. And that is $30. And if you're on my team, it would be $25. So there's a $5 savings. So the Paper Palooza right now is $120 plus shipping, because the early bird pricing ended on Monday. So if you've signed up for it prior to Monday, you still got the early bird pricing because you registered on time. But anybody who registers after Monday, it's $120 plus shipping. So, okay, so that's it. So, all right, so now you know what I've been working on for since I got home from basically Florida, is all the stuff that's working in here, and then finishing off the 10 cards. So it's been a whirlwind of a week, and yeah, so it's all good though. A lot of stuff good. Hi, Maria Gilbertson. And all the Palooza cards are amazing. Good. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. All right. Hello, Elaine. And I'm going to do roll call. I got my book right here. Let's do roll call before I forget, because it's been one of these days where the last couple classes I've forgotten until somebody reminds me. So I'm going to try to not forget. So we are doing the suite class here momentarily. I will go through that here in a second, but I want to thank everybody who registered to take this class with me in a kitted form. You could pay for this class straight up, or you could get it free with an order. And I have about 15 sets of this class left. So in case you would still like to get in on these cards, we can always hold them here and add them to your shipment going out in June. Or if there's nothing else that you're getting from me, I could just mail them out to you, no problem. I'd probably mail them out next week, because this week's kind of like winding down. And it's just not so easy to ship onesie, twosie things. So I'll just hold on to them. And when I do my next shipment with all the product shares, we could add them to it. If you do get all 3 product shares from me, so like the DSP sampler, not as the Palooza, the ribbons and the embellishments. So if you get that as a whole shebang, you could also pick this as your free class, because with the whole shebang purchase, you could pick out a free class. But thank you to everybody who did this class with me. I hope you enjoy making the cards. You get to do some cutting in your future here, because there's some DSP that needs to get cut. But first, on our list, we had Trisha Fagley, Julie Bontranger, Sandy Coy Emery, Angel McClendon. You guys hear my Mario coin? Somebody's messaging me. Karen Stagg, Donna Grushke, Faye Godby, Linda Scott, Susie Fentlater, Gwen Petrashek, Jeannie Parker, Feline Mays, Rosie Prouty, Karuna, Sherry Stewart, Leslie McMinn, Kathy Showalter, Kelly Gibson, Angie Cruz, Nina Barbaric, Doris Munson, Cheryl Thomas, Angela Knutson, Karen Woods, Karen Wetstein, Patricia Settle, Michelle Foran. Michelle, that's the first time I think I said your name out loud. So yay! Like that. Nedra Dover, Susan Bellamy, Pat Shee Bischoff, Janice Ormiston, Joanne Naples, Sherry Everett, Becky Gandolfo, Carmen Melendez, Mimi Hohenstein, Vera Anderson, Sarah Merchant, Linda Hunt, Mary Carls, Carrie White, Debbie Stone, Patty Wright, Sue Esworthy, Patty Randolph, Sheila Roberts, Phyllis Oderman, Vicki Rodriguez, Sarah Mitchell, Lynn Beasley, Julie Block. So yay! All right, so again, I have about 15 left. So I will probably most likely, positively, be adding this class to my past classes that are available. I also will be adding the monthly class for May to that. I haven't done it yet, but the monthly class. Ink, paper, scissors, I'm just going to put this out there, that we ran out of ink, paper, scissors, and I have 2 people on the wait list. Ink, paper, scissors features Lovely Garden. It's next week. We kitted 80, and they're gone. They were gone already a week and a half ago. So we added 2 people to the waiting list. We're waiting to see more, to make more, to see if we should make 4 more or if we should make 8 more. So if anybody was thinking about getting the May ink, paper, scissors, please reach out to me and let me know if I should put your name on the wait list, because we're going to build that into the schedule for next week. Okay, so that's the May ink, paper, scissors. I have Stamp-A-Stack tomorrow, and I think I have 1, maybe 2 left. So I know there was 3, but somebody was on the fence about getting it, so I got to reach out to them, and I got to make sure I didn't miss signing somebody up. So if anybody was on the fence about the Stamp-A-Stack, reach out to me. And I think that covers everything. Oh, catalog launch party is gone as well. Early in May, we had the catalog launch party. Those cards are long gone. All right, so I'm going to drop the camera down. I am going to share with you a few other things, and then we'll start making our 4 cards like rapido, fast. So you guys, I just want to show off this again. Kelly photographed this and added it to the mystery card event. This was mystery card for Monday night. We did the mystery card night. So thanks to Jolene for inspiring us with this awesome layout. All right, so you guys get working on your cards and get them submitted so that you can get on the drawing. Also to share with you that Kelly did a kit class with you on Tuesday. Oh, Jean, she would like to take this one for one of the orders. Oh, awesome, Jean. Okay, perfect. I know, Jean, you've also sent me an email. So if you didn't have that in the email, you should let me know that. Hi, Melody Miller. You should follow up. That would be awesome. So Kelly did this kit with you guys on Tuesday. In case you missed it, you can catch her making this. It's called Beautiful something Beautiful Blues. So cool. There's 3 different cards. So if you are on Team Blue, I think you would like this kit. And you could always cut these down and mat them. But there were some really pretty blue gems. And the envelopes. Look at these blue gems were super cool. They were definitely blue. I wish they had more blue gems. Or, well, they already have purple, but blue is really pretty. So all these envelopes, the flaps match. So again, something that you could always catch if you want to see that. And then she also did her paper bouquet. So I wanted to show that to you. And I think what I'll do is I have this pile here. We've got some Happy Mail. I'll go through it at the end of the class. And I also have some cards that I finally pulled the names, and so we can announce some winners of some cards here. So I'm going to set that right next to me so I don't forget that, because I don't want to forget to do that. And we're going to start making these 4 cards. So thank you to everybody who did this class with me. So if you are in Canada, I talked to Rose about this today. She said that she featured the woven textures or botanical textures in her business last month. So she didn't have anybody specifically sign up for this class. But if you are interested and you're looking for kitted cards in Canada, you definitely need to reach out to Rose Coleman. She is your girl. She might have kits left over from what she did last month too. It doesn't hurt to ask her, okay? But if you are in Canada and you are interested in these cards, you could reach out to Rose too. I don't know if she would be wanting to kit up 1 or 2 of this class. You'll have to just reach out to her, but I just wanted to put that out there too. Team Blue, yes. Hi, Sherry Ott. All right, so just a note, when you guys get your card kits from me, sometimes there are multiple kits together, back to back to back. And usually there's 3 or 4 cards in a kit. So if you have 4 cards and then you have 3 cards and then you have 4 cards and then you have 3 cards because you got everything from me, make sure you're looking at all of the cards and that this little yellow slip is somewhere in between them. So the name of this class is Botanical Textures. I emailed out the PDF tutorial to everybody yesterday. It's also in the Inspiration Hive in case anybody's looking for it there. And class is May 22nd. In case you're looking for the YouTube video, you can look for it that day. And then we have the 4 cards that look very similar. All right. And this is an online exclusive that became available actually in March. And it is a suite of products. So when you get in the Beekeeper's Guide and you look in the suite collection area, you could also find this in the online store with Stampin' Up! If you search Botanical. There is a suite here. It's called Botanical Textures. And it is a super duper suite. Not super duper. Let's just say super sweet. Only because it has 2 packs of designer series paper, but it only has 1 bundle. The stamp set is called Textured Notes, which I have it here. I'll pull it in a second. It's actually right here. Textured Notes. And what's a little bit crazy about it is there aren't really dies that match the focal images. There are dies, but the dies are all rectangles. So these cards that we made for this class, they're very similar because what we did is we used the different, I think we used almost every rectangle from this set. We might have missed maybe 1 or 2 of them, but generally the different size rectangles got used. We also pulled in these dots, and all the cards, they use one of each of those colors. So we used black, we used white, we used pecan, and we used the creamy color one. Now, I will admit that when we kitted these up, I don't know how it happened, but it happened. We put the white ones in this kit and we put the cream ones in this kit. So You could, they're pretty interchangeable. I had thought that the cream matched this one a little bit better, but in all honesty, these cards are so similar in their color palette that the white could go for either one and the cream could go for either one. So just know that when I put the cards together, I'm actually going to pull my gems out and switch them to match the picture. There's also an embossing folder in here, and it's called a mini corrugated embossing folder. And I went ham on it. I absolutely love the mini corrugated embossing folder. So it's on each one of the cards. And then for the ribbon that was part of this suite is this white one here. And it's white 1/4 inch ribbon. And that was used on this card only. Okay. So I pulled in some retired ribbons, you guys. I cleaned up my green room, which is my guest bedroom, which is where I have overflow of stamping up products from my past. And I thought instead of, I want to start using them in my business a little bit more. So what I did is I just make sure I have enough to do kitting. So in this one, we pulled in Pebbled Path ribbon, which just retired. And I don't know if it's available or not at the moment. I don't think it is, but we had enough to kit what we needed. And so there's a little bit of Pebbled Path. This is current. This is the Essentials Baker's Twine in Crumb Cake. But the curvy ribbon in the back, that is retired. So if you guys are looking through the PDF tutorial, just know that we did use some retired ribbons for this class. So that curvy one, retired. And then on this one, this is one of my favorites. This is like, oh, I kept telling everybody this is the brown, the espresso faux ribbon. It is not. Oh man, I forgot about this. This ribbon is probably, it was like one of the oldest Stampin' Up! Ribbons I had. I would have to say that ribbon was 10 years. I've been holding on to that roller ribbon for a long time. It's like a cotton weave ribbon, and it matched on this card perfectly to have a little bit of brown on here. And yes, you could have taken this white ribbon and colored the heck out of it to get the different colors that you wanted on these, but I chose to use the different ribbons that I had to help use them up. But that is not, whoever was in class last night, if you're watching, that is not the brown faux suede ribbon. Oops. It is a different cottony ribbon, but it is Stampin' Up! I promise. All the ribbon is Stampin' Up! So that's a little bit about what we're using tonight for class. Let's see here. Did I pull anything else? Yes. I pulled in some sentiments from Sunrise Sailing and from Notes and Totes. I think we have Sending Warm Wishes, and then we made a Best Wishes retirement card. So that's where we got some of the verbiages from. And the first card is going to be this guy. And so it's a brown base, but you guys, there's 3 brown bases. So let's see which one it is when you open up. So it's a vertical brown base. So that's going to be one of these two, all right? And now you'll know which one it is because it's the pecan gems. So we're on this one first. And this is the easy one for cutting, so I'm glad we started with this one. I'll give it us warmed up for cutting. All right, so let me get this out of the plastic so that you guys can see without a glare. So you'll have your pecan gems, and then you're gonna have this embossed piece. So let's talk about this corrugated embossing folder. It's great. I absolutely love it. The only thing is when you use it, it crimps your paper so much that it actually shrinks it a little bit. It doesn't shrink it this way, but it shrunk it this way by 1.5 hairs. And knowing that, I made sure we cut this page at like 4 1/16, a little bit more, so that it would reduce down to, 5 5/16 versus 5 1/4. So the thing you can do is you can test it out to see where it falls. If for any reason you find that it's too short, you have options. You could either trim your card base to be a little shorter, or you could take it and smooth it out and kind of flatten it, and it'll grow back. Yes, Elaine, Diana's still helping me design, and she helps design for certain each month the ink, paper, scissors, and Let's Just Stamp, because she teaches those in person. And if I can finagle her, she helps me design the suite class and the monthly class. And she's actually hopefully coming over on Sunday, and she's going to work with me for a little bit on Sunday afternoon to get the ball rolling on some designing. All right, so that's that. This we just took, actually Karen took, and she rounded all these for you, or I did. I can't remember. Karen helped me with some corner rounding, and I did some corner rounding, but that's just a piece of white, and what we did is we rounded the corners. And then you have, this is one of the die cuts from the Botanical, and then it's going to mat on this early espresso. Okay, so talking about the designer paper, Karen cut all these. And to keep it simple for her, because I didn't want to run out of time, we had her cut these all at 3x4. You should be in the top 10 of demonstrators. You are so talented and focused. Oh, thanks, Elaine. So I was actually in the top 10 this last time. I was number 8. So I was in the top 10. So that's, I don't know where I'll be at this year, but for the last year, Stampin' Up! Ending, so September 30th of last year, I ended last year as number 8. So yay, thank you to everybody for your help making that happen. So the designer paper for all 4 of these cards starts off as 3x4. But if you look at this, it's not quite big enough. It needs to grow. And how is it going to grow, you guys? Well, we're going to cut it in half and give it wings. So the current size of it is 3x4. So on the 4-inch side, we're going to take and cut it at 2 inches. And that will help it to grow, right? So we're going to put it like that, and we end up with a little bit of belly missing in the middle, but that's okay because it gets covered up. And so that's going to be for our sentiment. And then we have a white piece that's going to go for our inside. And then here's the brown ribbon. Now, I need to talk to people about, I feel so bad because I told everybody it was the brown, the espresso suede ribbon. So I had a little Post-it note on mine. And it's because my mom gave me the ribbon. There's like this little, there's this little weirdness going on here. But I'll try to mask that and hide that, which is fine. All right, so grab that bone folder and... Yay for number 8. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, Cindy. Yeah, definitely. Stretch that DSP. You could take your bone folder, too, and go like this. And that'll help flatten it a little bit. And it'll make it stretch to be a little bit bigger so you don't have to shorten the card. And I think that did it for me because now mine fits in here really good. And you might need to do that. Hi, Nashua. No, there's no R. Nashua. Is it Nashua? Carlos. Nashua Carlos. I might have said that wrong, so I apologize if I do. You guys, sometimes names are hard for me. All right, so we're going to grab espresso ink. We're going to definitely get our share of espresso ink tonight. Complete with cat furs. You know, they're everywhere, you guys. Kelly was talking about that on the live today, too. All right, so we're going to grab Sending Warm Wishes, which comes from the notes and the totes. So we'll ink this up first. So all you need for, oh, cat fur again. All you need for all of these cards, primarily a bunch of sentiments and some of the focal images. So Sending Warm Wishes, and I'm going to leave it blank on the inside. Hello, Julie Black. Better late than never. Jean Shoot, The Beekeeper's Guide. It's going out. Yes. I'm going through, you guys, there's like 500 people in there. And there's no name linked to the email address, which is horrendous for me. So it's a very manual process of looking up an email. If I don't recognize your email address to your name, like if I can't remember it's you, because some people's email addresses, lo and behold, do not have their names in them. They have lots of numbers and letters, but they don't really make it relate to their name. And so what I've been having to do is copy the email address and do a lookup in my database to see who it is. And then what I'm doing is creating a contact name for that. So when I hover over the top, it tells me the person's name. And then from there, I remember, for the most part, who's done anything with me since January. So I went in the alphabet and I went to E's, and then now I went backwards and I started from, there are no Z's really, but there's one Z, but I started and I got up to the T's. And so now I have this middle section, and I need to get through it. I guess what I'm going to probably have to do at some point is say, if you haven't earned the guide and you're still in the folder, then either let me know so I can take you out of the folder, or support me per the requirements to be able to earn the guide. And it's, you know, based off of $100 since January as a customer, or if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, then it's $50, supporting me in my business, because it took Kelly so much time and energy to make the guide. And so that's how we do it. So that's where I'm at, Jean. It's a very, on top of all the things that we did here, that's one of the other things that I'm trying to get that done. It's a very manual process, and it's a lot of work. And I wish I had an easier way to manage it, and I don't. And so I just, yeah, it's just a tedious job. All right, so there's a little foliage in that bottom corner. So we're going to take this guy, which is part of the Textured Botanicals stamp set. We're going to put that down here. And yes, Michelle, I know you're team purple. I was just looking to see if I missed anybody. Okay, so we got that guy down here. Okay, so for me, I know that's like a minor detail, but it's not coming off the bottom of the page, and I don't like things to necessarily not be growing out of the page. So I'm just gonna try again, and I'm gonna bring it down a hair on that one. All right, so that's it for stamping on this card. So I'm gonna shut the ink so we don't accidentally have a cat run into it. And we're gonna flip this over. And we'll flip this. Yeah, some of you guys, your email addresses are pretty like spot on. And then where I get a hiccup is, like this happened with Lori Baxter. She has a different email address that she needed to use for the Gmail folder that isn't the same as what I have in my database. And so then I had to send an email to about 20 people because I'm like, I have no idea who you are based off of this email address. And I don't want to accidentally take people out. So the main thing is that if you get removed from the Beekeeper's Guide folder, and you shouldn't have, it wasn't intentional. It's very manual. And all you have to do is let me know, and we'll send you an invite to get you right back in there. So really, it's not the end of the world if somebody's in there and they shouldn't be, and they let me know that, or vice versa, they get taken out and they shouldn't have gotten taken out. We can fix it all, right? What I need to do is just get it done and get it into everybody's hands that is ready and excited to have it. So I'm super excited. I'm facilitating, if people want it printed, I'm facilitating that with my girl who prints my copies for me. And then Jill's helping me get them over to a company in Ripon that they're going to have a pleathery background and then have a plastic cover on the top and spiral bound. So I'm just facilitating that in case anybody wants that. All right, so I'm just gluing my designer series papers. I've made sure there's the same, and that's very crooked. So let's straighten you out. I had it crooked, so I can pick that up and rearrange it. If you are one that likes to make sure things are certain, you could grab your ruler and put that against it and make sure that it butts up nicely. And then this one is going to go right here, like that. Perfect. So you saw that big gap there. That's perfect. The reason I wanted all of these to be 3x4 instead of 3 by, let's say, 4 1/4 is because when you get 12 by 12 DSP, you get 12 of these pieces out of your 12 by 12 paper. And if you would cut it at 3 by 4 1/4, you would only get 6. I think, right? 6, right? Because I think it would be 6. That's what I have in my head. And you want to learn to maximize your designer paper when you're creating cards, designing cards, when you are making swap cards, when you're hosting classes, right? If you do a class where you could get by with 1 pack of designer paper versus 2, why not, right? Here's the deal. You can pull this out as well if your ruler. Hello, Holly. That's 1 5/8. That's 1 5/8. Okay, so there you go. It's about 1 5/8 from each side, if you want that to be exact. And then all we have to do on this is grab some ribbon, and some tear and tape. And I've got a loop, a tail, and a tail. And that got some people last night. They're like, how do you get 2 tails? Well, what you need to do is start with making your loop and your loop. And I'm going to try to, underneath where my WI is, I'm going to catch that tear and tape and make my first loop, bring it back, make my second loop, and then I'm going to cut this at an angle. That's the important thing with this. Oh man, I don't have any scissors over here except for this one. I'm going to cut this at an angle. When you cut this at an angle, it leaves one little tail here, and that little tail is how you get a second tail, right? So my mom was very strategic. She cut all of your ribbon, I believe it was at 4 1/2. We had one roll and we were making 80 cards. So we took 360 inches divided by 80 and we said everybody gets 4 1/4 or 4 1/2 inches of ribbon. And that's exactly how much you need to do that right there. So I put that tear and tape down, and that will help sandwich that so it doesn't pop out later. And you can use black dimensionals, white dimensionals, you won't see through. And what we're gonna do is pop this up like that. So once you get your designer paper and you get your stamping done on this one, it's a nice, easy peasy card. So let's put that right in the middle. And so it's awesome. It's the right size that you can still see all that cool stitching that is part of that die. All right, let's turn you. Hello, Debbie Stone. So there's a new way to do that. All right, so perfect. Now you won't hear my collecting coins. So the pecan ones, you'll have too big and a small or the opposite. Whoa, hang on one moment, please. There you are. And I've got a big and a small that I like to go together there. And then whatever your opposite one is, put that down here. Nice. Could you Stella something? Yes, always. So I'm going to just go up and down my designer series paper. Perfect. The other thing that I thought of after the fact, if you think that your label's too white and you need some sort of background texture on it, you could stamp something in crumb cake very lightly back behind there. And it could, in essence, be this at second strength a couple times, or this thing right here. You could stamp that second strength or anything else, right? You could splatter some espresso ink on that too. So, yay. Okay, one done. One done. Oh, Cindy likes stretching the DSP. Perfect. Okay, so we got that guy done. We'll set this off to the side for a moment. You guys can still look at it in case you need to. We'll pull out the next card. So, oh, the black one. So that's easy. There's only one black base card, and it looks like this. So this one was a fun one because, like, you guys are probably thinking, well, that's not a piece of 3x4 designer series paper. How did she do that? Well, that's the fun part about this one. Okay, so this one's going to make you wonder. So in your kit, you're going to have your 3 black gems for this one. Perfect. And you can take your base and burnish it. So that's good to go. Horizontal. Keep it horizontal. Same thing with this, with the corrugated. If you put this on here and it's not quite tall enough, you could stretch it out. With this one, this is the one where instead of 4 inches, we did 4 1/16, so that it was a little bit bigger in case it shrunk when it got embossed. Okay, so that's here. You have a little white strip for a sentiment, which is going to go there. This, you guys, is the little ferny thing. I went ham with this guy. So this is from Beautiful Motifs. Beautiful Motifs, that is one of the new suites, part of Beautiful Gallery. Right here, this guy, right? It's called Beautiful Gallery Suite. And it's this die right there. Look at that little guy. That's this one, okay? There's another cool die in here that one got used on a different card. When I was doing the Kellogg launch party class, I used these dies as well. So there is a super, now this is really a super suite because there's 2 bundles in here. One's called Beautiful Motifs, which we've been using this for all the words, which are super cool. And then this one, which I haven't used the flowers yet, but I have used the dies a lot. Super cool. So that is called Beautiful Gallery Suite. And that is in the new annual catalog. And I need some feedback. Do you guys want us to do this as an ink, paper, scissors class? Diane and I are on the fence. We need to get off. I know the splinters are going to start to get festered. Do you want to do that? Like we're trying to figure out if we build this into an ink, paper, scissors for the fall. I think it would be September if we did it. Are the able to mail printed copies of the Beekeeper's Guide? Yes, Kelly. I would be willing to mail the Beekeeper's Guide, especially if you or anybody else is doing the Stampin' Fun in the Sun. We could easily add a printed Beekeeper's Guide into your package, and it would just be like a couple dollars extra because the Beekeeper's Guide weighs about a pound. So I would say just adding on like $2 postage to it. So, and I'm very happy to report back that because this Beekeeper's Guide is actually 20 pages less than the last Beekeeper's Guide, that it's actually not $30 to have it printed. It's actually $25 because of having 20 less pages. The reason it's 20 less pages is because there isn't a mini catalog going on right now. So in this, when we did the January Beekeeper's Guide, it had the mini scrapbooking online and annual catalog. It was the culmination of 4 or 5 different things, if I'm not mistaken. For this one, there isn't a mini going on right now, so it's 20 pages less. And I just got the bill from my printer for printing like 40 copies of it, you guys. So anyways, but that's okay. So if you would, no worries, just if anybody's interested, I can help facilitate it. So I'm not charging for the guide itself. I'm charging for the printing, right? Because I can't sell the guide technically, so I don't want to get in trouble for it. But if anybody does want a printed version of it, I would have you sign up via a registration link, and I'm facilitating the coordination of you getting the printing from my printer, okay? So just, Kelly, if you want to send me a quick note, if you haven't signed up for it yet, send me an email, and I'll reply back with the link so that I keep everything in one central spot for my printer to know how many to print, okay? That's how that'll work. All right, back to this. We have our beautiful motif sky, and then we have a gray granite that's matted onto a black, right? You have your 3x4 piece of designer paper that you're looking at like, what the heck do I need to do with this? And then IPS, yes, please. Oh, Mary said yes to doing that as, oh, Julie said yes. Connie said yes. Hello, Snowy Mom, new here. Nice to have you with us. The Beekeeper's Guide is the culmination of all of the online exclusives and annual catalog rolled into one document. So it has been a lifesaver for me because I can see, I was shopping for stamps to use on the paper Palooza cards. So I basically started at the stamps and I was looking for a certain size so I could scroll through absolutely every current stamp and find the exact stamps that I was looking for, provided I owned the stamps. So the Beekeeper's Guide is it's a online document, and if anybody wants to print it that they want to, they can always get it printed. So you guys are saying yes to that IPS. Kelly, how should we let you know if we want that? Kelly, you'll have to send me an email, right? Email me at christine@cardsbychrisby.com, and I will reply back with the link to hook you up with the printing, okay? So this piece right here, the black one, goes back here. And now you have a piece of white for your inside, right? And then you have a piece of this pebbled path ribbon, which again is retired, but it was part of the last in colors that just went away in May. May 5th, I guess. So that's that. Now, this guy though, oh, you guys are all over the IPS. Okay. I was a little bit scared with it, but but I think you guys are going to be all over it. Okay, good. All right, so I think that answers that question. Hello, Kathleen Ketterman. You guys are wanting it. When I printed the Beekeeper's Guide, it took a whole cartridge of color ink. So your way of doing it is very cheap. Good. Yes, my printer gives me an amazing deal because I've known her since 2008. So she's a friend of mine, and it works out great to get my copies from her. So you guys, this is what we need to focus on. This piece of paper, front and back, is what we used here. We need to cut it though, right? So if you guys have the tutorial, you'll see the measurements in the tutorial, and otherwise what I'm going to do is tell it to you over the phone right now. So this starts off as a 3x4, right? We've already established that it's 3x4. The first thing you need to do is cut it in half, 2 inches on the 4-inch mark. So when you cut this at 2, line it up nice. When you cut it at 2, this is the piece here for the middle, right? That will get glued right there. Perfect, done. Now, what you're gonna need to do is flip it over. Did you already send the sign up link for the Beekeeper Guide or working on that? Because I told you I'd pay for printing, but don't recall putting my name on a list. So, hi Jody. So Julie Damaris as well, send me an email. You guys, I do know I am backed up. So Julie and anybody else, if you have emailed asking me for it, I'm a little behind on emails. I can't deny that, I am. But I generally see my emails in my inbox first, like the newest ones. So if anybody emails me in the next 24 hours asking to see the printed version, to sign up to get their printing, like that I can help facilitate it, I'll reply back as soon as possible with that link. And I need the link filled out because I can't have it coming at me all different ways because I'll miss it. So I need first everybody to just register for it so that my printer can see that and she'll know how many then to print. So definitely if you email me at Christine@cardsbycrispy.com and I'll help you guys out with getting that link, okay? So now that you have this, what's gonna happen is this is the side and everybody's gonna look slightly different because of the curve. This is like a circular paper. So you need to cut it at, I think it's basically 3/4 of an inch. Yes. So 3/4 and then you're going to cut. So then it splits it like this. Okay. I don't know how many demonstrators, can't remember if it's in the catalog or an online exclusive. They have to look it up. How many demonstrators? Who did somebody ask? Jean said, I don't know how many demonstrators. Can't remember if it's in the catalog or online. Are you, so Jean, is somebody, or are you trying to figure out how many demonstrators there are in the US or catching you live? So, let me know if you're trying to figure out how many demonstrators for what, because I know how many demonstrators there are in the US, but I don't know if that's what you're trying to figure out. So you're going to cut this at 3/4 of an inch and you can figure out, do you like it darker? Do you want it lighter? However you want it, right? So that dark side could be over there or the dark side could be over there and then the light could be there. So however you want it. I think I'm going to go with the light side on the left. So at 3/4 of an inch, boom, don't be afraid. 3/4 and that's basically what we've done. So we've taken this awesome 3x4 and we've just made it look like it's a lot more than that, right? Because that whole backside is going to be covered up. So a great way to be strategic about paper. Now, if you have tons of designer paper and you don't care that you cut pieces like that, you could always recreate that and cut it the right size. I think she is complimenting you on your memory. Oh, good. Okay, Cindy. Oh, I don't know how many demonstrators, can't remember if it's in the catalog or an online exclusive. They have to look it up. Oh, Jean, shoot, that is so funny. I completely read that like you were trying to figure out how many demonstrators there are, and I appreciate the compliment. But if you are wondering, there are 35,000 demonstrators in the United States, or there are about that many in the US. I don't know how many are worldwide, but thank you for the compliment. I appreciate Cindy helping me figure that out. You guys, sometimes when I read the comments in here, I read them verbatim as exactly what they say, and I don't think outside the box. Jody wanted to come up and meet me at onstage, but I didn't happen, so hopefully I can next. Yes, Jody, definitely in California. For those of you who were part of my onstage event that I did with Brandy Cox, Brandy and I are going to canoodle again soon, and we're going to determine what we can do for an event for next year. I think that we're both on board with it. I think I can be safe to say that. We have both, since onstage, we have both been beyond like little chickens with our heads cut off, right? Running around just crazy, crazy, crazy. If you guys watch me, you probably know that a lot, that it's the grass doesn't grow underneath my feet, is what my mom says. And so both of us, that is what happened. So we've been a little bit talking via email, and that would be awesome, you guys, if anybody wants to. So what we did this last time is we organized a make and take event on the front end of onstage, and it included a huge card class with a goodie bag, and it was just really amazing. And we're gonna probably most likely do something like that next year on the front end of the Long Beach onstage. So Jody, if that would if you could fit it into your budget and you wanted to do that with us, that would be great, because that gives you some one-on-one personalized time as well. So I'm gonna just flip this over and flip this too, because these can get glued. So with this corrugated folder, you have to be careful, because if you get glue in the valley of the hill, sometimes it doesn't always glue. So I'm just gonna do a little bit extra glue there. And then this longer rectangle of black will get liquid glue as well. So we just have to find a venue. I have an idea. I gotta just make it, it's finding the venue, getting in touch with a sales coordinator, and scheduling some time to actually work on it. So, and it's hard when you're planning 2 other huge events at the same time on top of all of the normal stuff. So I basically have the same margin on the top, the sides and the bottom for this. And then this one will just get popped up So grab those black dimensionals. That's perfect for this. They should have the beekeeper's guide. I just laugh because I know how to get that information. They can't keep up with where anything is. You know, there is a lot. I'll put it out there. I have to say, I've been blessed with a fantastic memory. So that really helps me. And my girls say it to me all the time. They say I have whatever the saying is, like the memory of like an elephant with a steel trap or something is what they say. So I have that advantage that I can remember stuff, like I see it once and I can remember it. So that, but I also put it out there that there's a lot of stuff flying at demonstrators all the time, that this is new, that's new, this is new, that's new, that's new, that's new. And it's like, whoa, hold the phone. There's just a lot going on. And so it gets to be cumbersome and tiring and try to remember everything all the time. So that's why we created this guide, and it's like super cool because Kelly and I worked together with a few other people that we couldn't remember some things, and everything that's pictured has when it was released, you know, what day, like what month, what year, and what catalog it got released in. And so that helps me to solidify the remembering of things. Okay, so for this little guy here, I'm just going to strategically adhere, place some glue. Ooh, man, I just started the glue and I don't want to squeeze too hard. I'm just going to strategically put a little bit of glue behind in certain spots. It's not a lot, and I don't even, you can even see it, but there's a little bit of glue. And all I'm going to do is have this a little hangy off the top, and the stem comes right down to the bottom, and it's at a slant like that. And they don't have Kelly. Exactly. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so beyond blessed that I have Kelly by my side. Let's make sure I glued that. Okay, I did. And what I have here is that same leaf foliage, and I made this one into the retirement card. Yes, Kelly has been a godsend to me, you guys. She is, and oh my gosh, I was so excited to take her to Disney with me because a lot of the people that help me in my business, Kelly is one of, well, my mom's probably my number one helper, if I had to say. And Diane's an amazing, always by my side. There are a lot of people, you guys, that are by my side, but I have to say that my mom, Diane, and Kelly are like, they're tied. And Tyler, right? But from a helper standpoint. Okay, you guys, I'm going to use my white black pad. So I know it says white, but when you open it up, it's black. Because I am not a fan of the Memento pads. I just cannot keep them stamping good. So I've opted to take my Memento refill and fill up my white ink pad, and I made my own black pad. And now it stamps amazingly awesome. So I'm super excited that I did that. I know that was a tip that somewhere along the way somebody advertised, so we ran with it. So just know that I confuse a lot of people in in-person class because they think it's the white pad, and it's actually my white black pad. I mean, it stamps so much crisper and cleaner than when I get all these little lines. When I have my Memento pad, I get all these little lines that are so weird. I need a stamp that says best wishes. So, oh, it's stuck on the back of my crumb cake pad. Perfect. Okay, so then we have best wishes on here, and I'm going to stamp it closer to the left so that I can angle dangle my right. All right, so there's it for that. That's what I've got. And, oh man, you guys, I have to get a ribbon. I have to get a regular scissors. All my scissors got taken away from me today and put on my counter. Hang on. I have scissors in strategic places. And I say if anybody ever takes from over here, this little guy, like this, you guys, these caddies, if anybody ever takes from that, I say, please put it back. And that didn't happen, but that's okay. I knew exactly where it was. So I'm going to angle this guy like that. She will bake and cook for you. She sure does, you guys. Oh, and that's why people... Sharon signed up for the Stampin' Fun in the Sun today because she wants to come for my mom's cooking. I'm like, people come to my events just to get my mom's cooking is how it works these days, it seems. All right, so we're going to put a little bit of tearing tape. So my mom said she's making chicken salad sandwiches, blueberry bars with the blueberries from Michigan. So this is going to be underneath the BEST. We're going to do a little loop-de-loop back and forth. So just weave it back and forth. She's got the strawberry spinach salad that she makes with the almond dressing. Almond poppy seed dressing is so good. All right, and then what I'm going to do is grab that tear and tape to go right over the top. Oh, Kathleen, I'll let Kelly know you say thank you. Ditto that I have not received sign up. Oh, Mimi, I thought I got you. Mimi, you're signed up already. I might have added you manually, Mimi. I'm not certain, but so one moment. So I just want to make sure here. We've got Mimi, and then I add Julie, and then was there one other person that was interested? I can make sure you're, Mimi, I could have sworn you're on my list already. So if there was one other person, let me know too. So we're going to take this and trim this as long as it's not on the card. It's a little bit easier to cut it before we put it down. Got that. Yes, Elaine, you should come. My mom's cooking is amazing, you guys. I grew up with, like, my mom she was a home ec teacher in the 70s. And so when she left teaching to be a stay-at-home mom, housewife, farm wife, all the above, manage the farm with my dad, we got home-cooked meals all the time. And there was always dessert. So, all right, did you see all I did was glue the inside in? And then what happens with this is this side's going to be flat, and this side's going to get a couple dimensionals. So that'll even it out. So knowing that, I'm just going to take the tear and tape off of this side. There it is. Yeah, you need to come over for the stamp of Bon in the Sun. It should be a bucket list item. So it's going to kind of, right here is where that ribbon's going to kind of cover up. So that'll go flat. And there we go. Mary said, did you add me yesterday? Yes, Mary, you were, yep, you're on the list. Yep, you're on the list. Definitely on the list. Yep, we were sitting there. I was right in front of my computer, and we did manually add you. All right, little gemsies on there. Well, Stella, oh man, this dude right here can get Stellaed. That would be amazing. Get a little glitter action on here. You could Stella your ribbon too. Perfect, and you could do a little bit of the designer paper. All right, you should tell them to put iPads and cords and equipment back too. Oh, yes, right? Definitely. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Well, I look at it as I got extra steps. And then Mimi said, you still owe more money, but wait, yes, Mimi, you are 100% correct. And if you keep waiting, I appreciate it, and I'll make sure I tell you the exact amount to send. It's really hard when people send a different amount. It's not hard, but it's more bookkeeping, right? If somebody sends a different amount than what's actually owed, then I have to write it down on a sheet of paper in my book, and that you got a credit, and then I got to remember, oh man, this person's got a credit the next time that they want to buy something or pay for something, and to take that money off. And so it's just more bookkeeping work if we have differences in numbers. Okay, so there's our card number 2. So far we've got 2 done. Boom. All right. Then we're going to go on to the third one. Let's get you situated right there. Oh man, I knew that was going to happen. All right. Next one. You're very welcome, Mary. And Julie sent an email for the Sun and the Fun and the Beekeeper's Guide. Okay, Julie. So let's just put a note here. And the Beekeeper's Guide. And Mimi's got the Beekeeper's Guide. Okay, make sure to follow up with you girls specifically. And, all right, here's a gem hanging out right there. And here's another gem. This card is our horizontal brown one, right? So it looks like this, all right? So that's that other beautiful motifs die. That weavy basket thing, that's part of the textured note stamp set. And then that one is as well. And I think we use both of those in this card. All right, so we have our corrugated piece, right? This is going to become like old second nature for us. Then this little guy's for our sentiment. You have the beautiful motifs thing. That looks pretty cool, that die. We have a circle. Our circle is the size that is 2 inches, right? So I've already, somebody, we punched out a circle already for you. One of my helpers probably did. Punched out a circle, so that's part of your kit. And then you have, this is part of the the texture note size. It's a little accent piece behind the label. Now you have a 3x4. Now this one's actually going to stay 3x4. I will tell you, I struggle bust this. So this actually got cut out of here, which is cool. I struggle bust this. And I know that is hard because you want something to match identically, like the margin, let's say. And when you put this on here, you have a bigger margin on the left and the right. And it's hard because I really wished I would have, I don't wish, it would have been nice to be able to have the designer paper go all the way to the edge so it matted nicely, but I don't think it looks horrible having a little bit more brown on the left or the right. And I think it looks, when it's all said and done and the card's put together, the person you give it to is never going to wonder if you intentionally made that happen that way or not, right? They're not going to wonder. They're going to be like, oh, it's a really nice card, right? They're not going to say, oh, it's not the same margin on both sides. I don't think anybody's ever going to say that. Now, if you are recreating this at home and you want to cut your own designer series paper and you don't care about it being a 3x4 and you want to make it be a 3x, you would probably make it 3x4 and 3/8. Okay, that would be your magical number to add another 3/8 inch on there. That's only if you would want the border. So let's say you get the PDF tutorial and you're watching this later, you could cut your DSP at 3x4 and 3/8. But for us, for the class, we have a 4x3. There really wasn't a way to split it in half and spread it because you see the whole thing. And Cindy says it looks fine, so we're good. And it balances out the busy pattern. Exactly. See, you guys know, you're on the same page with me. All's good. Then we have our white. You have a little bit of the, so this got cut a little in class last night. People said it's really a little short. You have just barely enough to tuck it behind, or you could cut it and split it. All right, so we'll talk about that when we get to that point. And I made all your little bowies for you. So you have a little baby natural bow, crumb cake, natural essentials baker's twine little bow. Okay, all right, so let's burnish. Words were hard on that guy. All right, so another horizontal card. Let's do our stamping first. Let's do the circle because I gotta talk to you guys about that. So I use crumb cake ink for it. You could do first or second strike depending on how juicy your pad is. And it's hard because my circle, when I got this, is not centered nicely on my stamp. It's really close to the edge there, and it's, you know, a lot over here. If you get stamps like this from Stampin' Up, and they're really close to the edge, you're more than welcome to call them and have them replace it. Because from a quality perspective, I think the goal is that they strive to have it centered, and I think that somehow the machine got off on this one. I'm okay with it. It just makes it harder for me for stamping. Like, I'm fine working with it, but I would never want to go upside down and try to stamp my circle because you really can't see it. So what did I have people do in class last night? I had them ink up. I had them set their stamp flat and then drop your circle on here. And that gives me a better indicator of where it is, okay? All right, I'm gonna flip this upside down and hopefully it didn't fall off, and we're gonna see how this stamps. Okay, so that's how that is. Now, it's slightly one way or the other, but that's okay because what I could do is put that side that has more here, that could go underneath the label. The other option, if you guys, you have two sides to the paper, you could always flip it over and re-stamp it and see what happens. And so I'm going to pick this up, and it's going to stick to this for the most part. And let me see what the inside is. I think that, oh yeah, okay. So let's see what this side does. Same thing. I was very consistent with it, right? So pick whichever side you want, and that's it for this. And then on our inside, I used that other bottom stamp here. And if your pad is a little darker than what you want it to be, you could, in essence, stamp off. Let me just grab a sheet here, like that. And we're gonna do a little along the bottom here. Get one little guy right there. It's just putting a little faint border along the bottom with this stamp, just to use it. You could always use something else if you wanted. But all I did was put that across the bottom for texture. Right, and then I've got a little note of appreciation in here. And it's a red rubber stamp. So have fun with that. Definitely, if you want, find yourself a photopolymer stamp so you can see better. But what I would definitely do is practice to see how it stamps. Ooh, that's pretty straight. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see if I can get it stamped straight on here. Oh, yeah, I'm good with it. Okay. I mean, it could go up just a hair, but I think I'm just going to let it be. I think that's it for stamping. So let's get that out of the way. My stamp is like that too. It seems odd to me when it, yeah, so I think it runs in batches. So you might have gotten your stamp at the same time that I got mine. That's probably how that worked. Okay. Do I have something on the inside? Ah, thank you. We're not done stamping. Let's just do that really quick. I got that. Thank you. I just do a surgery on the excess rubber and make it even. Yes, you definitely can. Absolutely. You could cut that off if you wanted. Grab your scissors. They used to have back in the day, Stampin' Up! Had the nice red, like stamp scissors that you could cut for your stamps to cut it really nice. All right, let's see what we can glue. So, because there's a hole here, I'm not going to put the glue back here. I'm going to actually glue the top of my mat. So we're going to put glue behind the white. And then we'll put a little glue here. Oh, I went too far, right? Oops. Remember that the DSP, okay, we'll do a assessment in a little bit. I can always use my adhesive eraser and take it off. Oops, forgot that it didn't go all the way to the edge. All right, so let's do this little bit of gluing first. Let's get this on here. Yeah, a little bit over, that's all right. So I shouldn't have gone that far to the edge. I forgot. You know, it was right in front of me and I completely forgot, but that's okay. There's a little bit of glue hanging out the side here. And if it's sticky, I'll take my adhesive eraser and I'll get that off in a little bit. Okay, let's do this guy. Then that goes right on the cover, right on the top. Ooh, so there's not a lot of brown margin, where if you test it beforehand, you guys, if you do your dry fitting, you can always trim it a little bit. And then this is for our inside. Like that. Okay. Then this is going to get some tear and tape on the back to hold. Okay, it's got to go really close to the edge. If it's too far away, that curvy wavy trim is not going to catch it. So we're going to have this on standby. So be very careful, and there's no direction to that paper for me as far as I can see. It's about that much up from the bottom. Kind of got to center it. And then, there's not, you guys, your tails are not that long. I apologize. We figured that out in class last night. I could have had maybe another 1/4 inch, but just barely enough covers. So what you're going to do is grab that tear and tape and make sure that you squish it down real good. All right. That song was playing in my head. Squish it real good, right? That's a song. There really is. All right. That's there. This little guy is eventually going to go underneath here. That kind of hangs out there. Our little circle gets popped up. And then we have our little label. So let's just, for now, put this onto the card front, and then we'll build from there. Build a bear from there. So I'm using up these little dimensionals. One more. Una más, right there. Hello, Rebecca Hawkins. Just saw this class on YouTube now. It is still available. Where would I find it if it is? Okay, So what you go to my website, cardsbychrisb.com, and you want to find my page on my website that's called events. So go to my events calendar, and when you get to my events calendar, go to today's date, May 22nd. You'll find this class. You'll find a cover photo with the pictures of the cards, and you'll also be able to pay for it via my website if you want, or if you want to place an order to get it for free. This is a class offered free with a minimum order. Ultimately, if you want, you can just message me and tell me you want to sign up for class, and then we can figure out all the details later. I also have an email address here, cvcenroll@gmail.com, that you can send an email to if you want to get signed up for class. So this guy, I'm going to sneak him in right underneath, like that. Got the same margin on the right and the bottom for the most part. So then that curvy wavy trimming's right across the top. My circle's gonna get popped up. Ooh, which side did I want? All right, so I'm gonna pop it up here and here. So this wavy trim is about the same height as a dimensional. So I don't wanna put another dimensional there. Hello, Yvette Lopez. So I'm gonna actually run tear and tape along the bottom there, and that should ride over the top of the curvy wavy trim. So right like so. I'm not going to press down real hard in case I want to move anything. And then I have, excuse me, a little note of appreciation, which goes right about there. And again, it's riding over the top of the curvy wavy ribbon. So I'm going to put a little bit of tear and tape at the bottom, and then we're going to put 2 dimensionals across the top. Thanks, Julie, for answering that. Events, May 22nd. Okay. Then this guy is going to eventually be here. We do have to cut a little bit off, and we save it, though. So I don't think we cut any of this off, though. So this is right about here. And then for this dude, we cut it. Let me just show you what we got. I cut it right about here. And then I utilized this other piece, and I put it in front of it. But I didn't like that little jagged edge, so I'm just going to trim it to make it look like it's not supposed to be there. And then this gets a little bit of random glue on the back. Are you thinking about when you might do the June class showcase? Yes. Yeah. Next week, my guess is Thursday. I think that's what I have on my head, is Thursday. Nothing has been designed for June classes yet. There are going to be, excuse me, there's going to be a sweet class that features, ooh, there's little guys there. Pokey tool. Let's just poke you out and you out. All right, there's going to be a sweet class that features weekend adventures, designer paper with the scenic adventure bundle. So it's not necessarily a sweet class for June, it's a bundle class because it's not really a suite. I'm going to make it into a suite is what's going to happen. All right. And so that's that. The June monthly class, I'm thinking I'm going to pull in Notes and Totes to do one of those. This guy's going to go right like that, just kind of over the top. It provides a little extra texture. I'm going to do, I think, Notes and Totes. I don't know what the other two are at the moment. Ink, Paper, Scissors features Celebratory Sip. So it's going to be the drinky drink one. Let's Just Stamp is going to feature Extraordinary Floral. Floral or Flora? That little bow is going to go right there. Okay, very good. You can trim your tails just a little bit. So there's 4, and then Rose's Technique Club class. I don't know. I have to check in with her to see what she's featuring. Stella. Let's Stella this guy. Thanks, Julie. You're so awesome at helping answer the questions. Right on target. So here's the deal. I mentioned early on with class that we kitted these up backwards accidentally. They were very close. Whoever saw, it was either me or somebody else. They looked very close. These are the cream ones, and we used the white ones on this card. And so what I'm going to do is pull out the last card kit here. And right on the top, there should be some white gems. So I'm going to use the white ones on this, and then I'm going to put the creamy ones back in this one. Perfect. So then I'm back on track. So I have a big and 2 smalls. So I've got a big, a small, and then I have a small one. So I'll just go like, oh, he's still stuck on my fingers. Another small, just like that. All right. Perfect. So we could add a little bit more Stella along the bottom. Very good. Around the edge, why not? Go for it. My Stella pen is not juicy, so it's just putting a hint of it. So these cards are very universal for any occasion. They could be birthday, thinking of you, sympathy, graduation, retirement, welcome to your, like, they're very universal, right? So the sentiments I chose are just because that was what was in the stamp set, or a different stamp set that fit that little label really nicely. Thanks, Rita. All right, so that's that guy. We got our third one done, and we're gonna do another one. The last one for this class is a brown one again. I've got everything here, and it looks like this. Now this is another one that is like putting a puzzle together when it comes to cutting your designer paper. Again, it's a 3x4, and so you guys are going to think of, like, you're gonna look at this and you're like, that's not a 3x4, and it isn't, but it's really close. So there are the gems that we flipped around. I appreciate it, Julie. You're amazing. All right, so that fits perfectly nice. I did a dry fit, yay. So that's for our sentiment. This label, you guys are probably gonna think, oh man, what's going on? It's not right, it's too small. Well, it is small, but what I did, I took my scissors and I just cut it in half. Now you could take your little trimmer and do it too, but regardless, you're just horizontal in half. And then it gets split top and bottom. Then this piece is for your stamped foliage. And then you have one rectangle that's going to go horizontal, and a rectangle that goes vertical, a white inside, and then this is that white ribbon that goes with the suite. And then your 3x4 DSP. All right, so let's just burnish this first. Perfect. Keep it vertical. All right, let's do some stamping, and then we'll do some cutting. So you're gonna need your espresso pad, and this uses the other foliage that's part of this set. So it looks like that. And what you can do is ink up. Now, there are no dies for this. You will have to fussy cut it, okay? So we'll come back to that. So we've got that. And then I'm also going to use that for my inside. Now, for those who like to do your envelopes, you could also be doing your envelopes at the same time. So I'll put that in the bottom left. It seemed like it curved to the left side better than the right side, so that's why I went with left. And, oh, another thank you card. But again, you guys at home, you could do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want for your sentiments. Thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. You're seriously the best. You're better than all the rest. This is a red rubber stamp, so have fun with that. Practice. Do you think you will do a class with the Inspiring Imperfections stamp set? Oh, man. I don't even know what that is. Oh, man. Okay. I have an idea, though. Oh, it's a little crooked. Let's flip it over, and I got to move the back side or the right side up a hair. Inspiring. I gotta look up what it is. Okay, that's better. All right. One moment, please. Follow the instructions on the pin pad. You know, I'm going to find this really quick. I'm going to go into the index, and I'm going to see what Inspiring Imperfections on page 40. Page 40. Inspiring Imperfections. Oh, yeah! Of course I am. Okay, I didn't know that was the name of the stamp set. That's part of the Kintsugi Suite, okay? Kintsugi Suite is the suite class for July. So the question, good question. I didn't even know the name of that. I mean, I know it means something about broken pottery. Yes, perfect. Okay, yes, this is the suite class for the month of July. So I'm going to feature all that designer series paper, and we'll probably use lots of those pots, so people don't necessarily have to have the stamp set. So yes, the answer to the question is yes. Huh. Inspiring Imperfections. Good job for helping me learn something tonight. I didn't remember that was even the name. All I know is I've been calling it Kintsugi. All right. You guys ready to cut some designer series paper? All right. Let's make it happen. This is your piece. This piece, in the PDF tutorial, there is a diagram that you guys will be able to utilize. And I know that I have all these little pieces here, which is my cheat sheet. So if you're making these cards at home and using your own designer paper, you could just make them these sizes and be done with it, right? But I gave Karen Wetstein a break, and I made it so that she didn't have to cut all these little rinky-dinky pieces for you guys. So you're cutting your own, okay? And she says thank you. All right, so with your paper like this, 3 by 4, you're gonna cut it at 3 3/8, right here. And don't feel, let's just go with it. 3 3/8, so boom. All right, so that's the first cut. Second cut is flip your paper this way, and you're going for 1 7/8. Right, so 1 7/8. Okay, that creates the piece that goes on that one, right? Now you have these two pieces left, okay? Third cut, oops, I did the second cut. Oops, whatever. Okay, that was my third cut, but now on the side here, the second cut, which is now going to be our third cut, is at 2 3/8. So just flip this way. It didn't matter the order of these anymore now, but that goes there. So you're going to flip that over, and that goes at the bottom. And then what's left is this guy, 2 3/8. And cut it at 2 3/8. Now, I technically did waste a lot of this paper, but I also saved Karen from having to cut a whole bunch of these small pieces and us kitting them up and keeping them all organized. So anyways, that's how that goes. So now this will go down here. This one will go up here. And then this goes right through the middle. And no one will ever know that it's empty behind there. So that's how to cut that. So now we can do a little gluing. All right, so let's flip these over. And I am going to, let's see here, the back of this one. Now this DSP here doesn't go behind the hole. So we're gonna do that whole thing. And this one does. So what we're gonna do on this, let's just go like that. For now, that's enough. So center the left, the right, and the bottom. And then this one can go on here, centered. And then this one, top, left, right, centered. Boom. Okay, very good. Then this one, let's flip that over. Like that. And I will show you guys. Now, I'm pretty sure about 2 weeks ago I hadn't updated this. Let's just take a moment to pause. You guys are asking if I'm going to be doing things, and I have an answer to that. That's easy. If you go to my website, cardsbychrisb.com, and you go to the resources tab, or like the link for resources, I have a schedule. The third one down, it says Cards by Christine 2025 schedule. If you click on that, it brings up a PDF. And for suite, oh, they're not out here. That's exactly. So I haven't updated. Okay, that's the problem. I have this updated. I just didn't save it yet, but I have it now on my radar. I need to add, so it ends at, you can see it ends at April. I need to add May, June, July, August. I created this. I don't think I re-uploaded the new one. But this is where I have Let's Just Stamp, the Suite, Ink, Paper, Scissors, the Technique Club class. That's where I generally put what I'm going to be featuring. And now I just, by showing you this, I realized I didn't have it uploaded. The new one is not there yet. All right. And that's also where, like, this is the Suite class for the month. I don't know if anybody bought the actual Suite. This is the promotional class where you would buy the stamp set that's featured, the bundle and something else. I don't think anybody took advantage of that for this month. Okay, I don't think so. But for next month, the promo will be if you buy the Weekend Adventures bundle plus something else, then you get something. I haven't quite put it together besides that right now, so that'll come in time. All right. But it's always, when I do a bundle suite class, it's the promotional class, and I usually have it that if you buy the featured bundle plus this plus that, then you get this. And so what's going to happen here is I still want a dimensional right there. So once I set this into the card, oh, you guys, I got a hunky noodle here. There's a kitten sighting. Which way do I gotta go? This way. There's a kitten. He's thirsty. Hunky. Hey, buddy. Hi, Mom. When are you gonna be done with class? I want to play outside. No, that's what Hunky's thinking in his head, I think. All right. So centered top to bottom, and it's a little more to the left. So I'd say right about there, and that is popped up. And then what's going to happen is this is going to go across the middle section like that. And we're going to bring it up just a hair. But I did want to put one here and one there to provide a little support. All right, how big is that embossing folder? Cindy put the size. Thank you so much. Perfect. Okay. Then also we're going to need 2 dimensionals on the side here. And then we're going to complete this with a little bit of liquid glue right down the sides. Like that. And that should cover up so no one will ever... Oh, one moment, please. Did you just catch what I almost forgot to do? I almost forgot the ribbon. Hunky says, hi, Nancy. All right, did you notice that I didn't get any glue on there? Thank goodness. All right, so a little tear and tape down the side here. Grab that ribbon. Let's get that on there. Something like Mary right there. Perfect. Let's try this again. I was just wondering, because she got it horizontal as well as vertical. Oh, yes. This embossing folder is a square. So you can definitely run the embossing folder to get it a vertical card or a horizontal card. Yep. All right, now the ribbon's on there. So now we can finish off this part right here. So this is, I got it centered left to right, I think. And you see more designer paper, just barely covers up the edges of the designer paper. All right, that's, oh, and then it moved right there. That looks good. All right, now grab your sentiment. And I guess what I would do on this is run tear and tape on the top and the bottom, like that. You could use liquid glue if you wanted, but I feel like the tear and tape, it's not going to be wiggly wiggly. So I'm just going to pick up that brown piece, eyeball it, and then just flip it over, and make sure you keep your stitching to the outside. And because it's tear and tape, if you don't like exactly where you put it, you could kind of pick it off and then remove it, like adjust it. So that's how we got that to be bigger. Yes, Stampin' Up! Had an old corrugated twisty thing. Yes, not as nice as the embossing folder. Yes, it was a crimper. I feel like you squeezed it and you crimped it with your hand. I have something from the past. Yep, and they also had another corrugated embossing folder that I think had a bigger corrugation. All right, so that's good. Now, you guys, the favorite thing to do in the entire world here. Oh, you sit back, relax, and fussy cut. There are no dies for this. what I would give to have a few dies in here to cut out the focal images. That would be cool. Now, this part right here, actually, you could skip it for now because I don't think we need it, but we're going to come back and do a test of the public broadcasting system and just see once if it'll work not to do that middle section. And if we need to cut a little bit more out, we can. It was a crimper, yes. Your paper always seemed to twist, yes, and it came out wonky. I agree. The embossing folder is a great way to give you that corrugated look and not get all twisty on you. All right, so let's get down in there. All right, and then right there. It's not the worst thing if you have to only like do one. If I had to do 100 of these, I'd probably cry a little bit on the inside. All right, almost there. And we're gonna test the boundary waters and see if we need to touch anything up. All right, this thing goes across here like this. Excuse me. So you're good. You don't have to do this section right here, really. All right, and what we're gonna do is pop up those two pieces. I did pop that up, okay? There's a dimensional right there. Let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna go this like this, and all of this is popped up. So yes, we can just put that right there. Put one more here. And then I'm just gonna use tear and tape across the back here. Mary Lemke, I don't know if Weekend Adventures has a bundle. Scenic Adventures does. Yes, correct, Mary Lemke. I'm making my own suite. So I'm using the Weekend Adventures Designer Series paper with the Scenic Adventures bundle. So I'm making my own suite. It's not a suite. It's definitely a bundle and a Designer Series paper. I just think that Weekend Adventures paper will look really nice with the Scenic Adventures bundle, like question mark. So Rose just asked me the same question today. She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, in my head, I think I'm going to do this. And if it doesn't turn out or if it doesn't look good, I might switch gears and not stay the course and go a different route. But I'm up for the weekend adventure, right? So that's what my goal is for this weekend, is to get that class designed, and we'll see. So I'm, again, looking to use Scenic Adventures bundle with the Weekend Adventures Designer Series paper. That is my goal. So, and I don't know if I don't think I put the ordering special together yet, but I think it's going to be definitely buying the Scenic Adventure bundle mixed with something else, and you'll get this, right? Like I have normally been doing. All right, did you see that? I dimensionalized the back of that, and I'm going to run this right in line with that ribbon so that you can see it. So my sample, you can't see it underneath there, but on this one, I might just lift it up so that you can see it running underneath there. Just a hair. And this white piece, it actually centers. It centers between the design. It's the same length as the designer paper. So I have it so you see a little white peeking out there. Okay. All right. So let's grab the Stella pen. Right there and there. That's good. I'm good. I don't want to Stella on my stamped image. I don't want to make it bleed. And I don't think we glued the inside in. Nope. So let's do that. So did you guys, were you a little bit nervous about that 3x4 paper and how we were going to cut them? I hope you weren't. So we'll go right here. Boom. And then these are the Vanilla Gems. Oh, Cindy, I'm glad you like the card. So I have a big and a small, which I'll put right here. I know for some reason, like the cream ones worked on this one for me, but if you wanted to leave the white ones on this one, you can, because it does have the white ribbon. So I got there, and over here. Wonderful. We did it! And it's only 10 after. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to bring them all in, and you guys can tell me which one you like the best, or last night the general consensus was we like them all. Let's do this one here. So we got horizontal, horizontal, vertical, and vertical. All right. There it is. And saves paper and cutting for helpers. It sure did. It was a win-win-win. I think it was too. All right, so I do have this. If you're local to me, I still have this class on the docket. It was originally scheduled for Saturday, but who schedules a class on Labor Day weekend? I did, and I didn't mean to. I don't generally schedule classes on holiday weekends. So with that being said, I reached out to everybody who is signed up for it, and everybody is switching to May 31st. So I do have this class on the docket for Saturday, May 31st at 10 a.m. for anybody who would like to do the class in person with me. I have lots of kits available yet, so plenty of room for signing up. At the same time, I'm going to be running the monthly class. So there's still some opportunities to get in on some in-person classes this month. That one's the 31st. Diane also has ink, paper, scissors on, I think, Wednesday night, the 28th. But again, we have to make a few more. We have a waiting list, right? So she's already got, I think, 11 signed up. So if anybody would like to get on the waiting list to do in-person ink, paper, scissors, you gotta reach out to us pronto. So we know if we're making 4 extra or 8 extra or none extra, actually, you know, because if it's 2, we might just not do it. We might just say, okay, we're moving on to the next thing. So we'll have to see how that goes. So, but again, if you want to get on the waiting list, now is a great time to do that. Did I say late? You guys, I've been calling this weekend Labor Day. So it is Memorial Day. So if I said that wrong, I apologize. I'm not going to go back and watch the video to see what I said, because I truly believe if I said, that's why Nancy put on there, not Labor Day. It's Memorial Day. Yep. So definitely I've been saying that all week, Labor Day. And I don't know why. I don't want to be in September yet, you guys. Definitely not ready to be in September. We are just getting started with our summer. And I have lots of flowers that I have to plant. I should say I get to plant on Saturday. Saturday is going to be my day to work on stuff outside, as long as the weather cooperates. I'm going to try to get some of my plants planted that I bought 2 weeks ago. Debbie says she loves the gray one. Nancy says she likes the top right corner. And Yvette Lopez says she likes the textured notes. Oh, Cindy. Oh, is answering a question for me. Yes, Nancy Mole, you know that. And you're Canadian. Pat Smothers, they're all great, but I'm favoring the horizontal cards. I will be sending an email in the next day or 2, but I will definitely want the class. Perfect. Story Mom says great cards. Good. Yes, definitely, you guys. I've got plenty. So if you want to email to get class signups, definitely the cbcenroll@gmail.com. Right now I have it on the radar that pretty much if anybody signs up for any classes at the moment, we're planning to do our next big shipping day on June 10th. So if anybody's not in a hurry to get things, definitely email cbcenroll@gmail.com and let Carissa know you'd like to get signed up. And when we send you your June totals, we'll plan to ship everything. It saves money if you want to consolidate shipping to get this class in your June shipment. So right now the class is $22 plus $6 for shipping. If somebody reaches out right away and says, no, I want this right away, please mail it. I need it for this. I want to make it for that. Like, we can definitely mail it separately by itself. It would probably go next week sometime. But if you're not in a hurry, that's always easier. We can plan to consolidate it with your June shipment, and it would be $22 plus $2 for shipping instead of $6 for shipping. So you'd save $4, which $4 is $4 if I have to say anything about it. Everything adds up. So Sherry said they're all pretty. Mary says great ideas to use 3x4 paper. Yay. And that's great too if you have 6x6 paper, because you get 2 3x4 pieces out of a 6x6 paper, and then you're left with 2 inches on the end, and you can always use that other 2 inches for the envelope flap, right? Okay, so lots of good stuff, you guys. All right, let me put these out of the way, and we're going to do a random number generator to figure out who wins the door prize for placing an order to get the class for free. I'll put these in the plastic. All right, I got an itch right there. Okay. Grab the book and see how many people. I love them all. I was thinking, oh no, fussy cutting for me. I throw it on the Brother Scan and Cut. Yes. You know, I never had one, but I know people who have them. Love them. And that's a cool thing, because I think it scans it and then it cuts it for you. And it's probably pretty precise. Yes. All right, we have, let's see here. I think I counted up 9 people. 9 people for the random number generator. Let's grab that. Put in 9 scoops. All right, we have 9. I'm going to hit generate and see what happens. Number 1. Numero uno is Julie Bontranger. Awesome, Julie. I'll circle your name. So let's say that better. I'm circling your name, and in your June package, I will have a prize for you. Yay, congratulations. Okay, then I have just 2 more things, you guys. If you want to stay tuned, I have some cards I want to give away, and I also have some happy mail I want to share. So, hi, Donna Gruski. I will need to watch the replay. I didn't get the note. Oh, no. You'll have to see once why you didn't. There's something that will cut them out. Yes, Nancy Mole. You'll have to go to the internets and go to ask the Google what a Brother Scan and Cut is, because that is the machine that cuts out images. If I'm correct, I think you could take a piece of designer series paper that has focal images, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know this for certain, but I'm pretty sure you could put that sheet in there and it would fine cut. It cuts out, it scans it, and then it cuts out all the images. Okay? So, how cool would that be if I invested in that? And then when I had classes where it's like the pottery class that I'm going to be doing in July, if I ran that through and it just cut them all out and we put them in your kits all cut out, versus what normally happens is Karen Wetstein, she loose cuts them, I guess. Not fine tune cuts them. She just rough cuts is the word I'm looking for. She rough cuts around them. Oh, yeah. Okay, who has that again? Let me just look back here. It was Yvette Lopez. Yvette, we need to talk, girlfriend. You sent me an email right after onstage or soon thereafter onstage, and I wanted to reach out to you. So I think you're on my radar to call anyways. I'm going to talk to you about the Brother Scan Cut thing, because if I got that, if I can put those sheets in there and have those images all cut out, wouldn't you guys like that even more, to have not have to fussy cut the stuff yourself? I think you would. I think I'm onto something. All right. We have some card classes that I did last year. This one is called the November monthly class, and it featured decorative trees, the country birdhouses, and oh my goodness, you guys loved this. It was my biggest monthly class ever. I think we made 72 kits. It was because of this card right here. You want to know who the Lucky Duck winners are? All right, drum roll. We have here winner chicken dinner. Get it, bird dinner. Connie Moore. Yay, Connie. I know where you live, so I know where to mail that. Winner chicken dinner goes to Doris Munson. I know where you live too. So that, you know what? I used to mail these cards out separately to you guys, but I've gotten too many pieces of mail returned to me recently that they've gotten eaten by the machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these cards going forward, I'm going to put them into your packages that you have so that they don't have any risk of getting mutilated by the mailman, the mailman's dog, or the kid who stole your homework, or the machine that runs these through. So you guys, that's a little change that I'm going to be doing. And then this one goes to Julie Block, out from Oostburg, Wisconsin. Awesome. Julie's going to love this card. Okay, so very cool. So that was the November monthly class. I do not have any left, you guys. We kitted up 3 times for this class. 60, and then we added 16 more, and then we added some amount more. Poor Annette Rolland. She helped me kit this one up. Oh, man. 3 times we kitted that one up. Then we have the Season of Elegance class here, which was in November. You guys, if you like these cards that I'm going to show you because you just started watching me, maybe you didn't know I did this one as a class, I have 4 or 5 left of this class kitted, ready to go. And you really only needed sentiments and some trees. So this class was in November, and we have 4 winner chicken dinners. And they are, Kari Dwyer, you get this beautiful midnight one. I feel like there should be an owl sitting in the tree. All right, this one goes like this. It's a gift card holder, so you can sneak some cash in there or a gift card, but then it becomes a regular card on top of that. Yvette Smith, you are the lucky duck winner here. And then I've been up since 5 a.m. All right, Mimi, catch the Happy Meal tomorrow. All right, thanks for sticking with me till now. This one goes to Cindy Runtree. Cindy, you've been watching all night long. I hope you still are here so that you can see that you won. And this one goes to Julie Bierschbach from Chilton, Wisconsin. Okay, so again, I'm going to hold on to these cards. They're going to have our little slip that we put in, and I'm going to hold them on the back counter until the next shipments are ready to go, and then they will get put in. I think everybody here is generally signed up, or I see people that I can not have to mail these individually. You guys, I have to show you the gems that got eaten by the postman. All right. Sweet dreams to Mimi. Okay, I have a little bit of Happy Mail here. We're going to go through this as well. So this card comes to me from Vonda Saia. It's that new zippery set, you guys. Zipping by to say thank you. Awesome. So she's got a little sweater vest here with a zipper. And on the inside, it's just saying thank you doesn't seem enough. Hope you know how much your kindness is appreciated, you guys. So keep your prayers coming to Vonda. She's going through her chemo treatments right now. Vonda's on the team. And she got a pumpkin from me and sent me a thank you card. So just keep her in your prayers, you guys. She's got a little bit of a journey ahead of her, and she can use all the uplifting thoughts and encouraging thoughts that you guys could possibly send. All the prayers, send them her way, okay? And then this one is from Shannon West. She is my business development advisor, and I did a panel discussion at Hobart, Indiana, and so she sent me a little note. And I also reached my $900,000 in career sales back in May, early May. I think it was the beginning of April. It was in the last month. So she sent me an awesome card. So I also have a thank you card. I thought that's what that was, but it was that card congratulating me. This is from Pat Sheet Bischoff, my friend from Staten Island. She did the popping by to say hi. And she did a mat of designer paper on the inside, really cool. So the mushrooms. This one is from Barbara Tyler from St. Cloud. And she has that fracking. I have to think of the oil going down the well drilling. Fracking technique with some, it looks like ink blending. Very pretty. A little purple background. This one comes to us from Doral Hoffaker. She used the country flowers and the perennial postage dies. Mixture with some Pebbled Path and Moody Mauve. I love it. She's been using the invisible Post-it notes, you guys, because you think that she wrote on there, but she didn't. So I can reuse that. So cool. This one comes to me from Vicki Rodriguez, Missouri. She sent me a cool Easter card, you guys. Check out what she did. She used some of that new velvet fresh freesia ribbon, and she went back and forth to create a lattice with the Easter egg. And then she used the lattice embossing folder, some stitched nested essential dies, a whole bunch of iridescent pearls, and then those new starburst gems. So cool. And then she's got the bunny in the background from the Storybook Moments designer paper. Very cool. All right, this next one is from Lisa Hedgedis. Lisa is from Hollywood, Maryland, and she did, oh man, okay, let me think about this. I did it as a class back in July of not this year, but last year. Oh, Wildly Flowering. I think this is called Wildly Flowering, the designer paper. And a stylish shapes die here, and then it opens like this. So cool. Very pretty. This one is from Faye Godby. Faye is from Virginia, and she gets the note cards, and they're painted, and then I think that Faye knows the person too that does these. If I'm not mistaken, Faye, I know there's a connection. I feel like there's a connection, and she always sends me such pretty note cards. This one is from Cindy McLeod. McLeod. Diane taught me how to say your last name, Cindy. And die set, I believe is, I feel like Stampin' Up! Had a cross like that. But it's not Faith Collection, and it might be maybe a different brand. I'm not quite certain, but Faith Collection had a cross that looked like that. And maybe it is that. I'd have to look. It opens like that. So cool. So the great thing about it is I have this, and I can go to the index like very fast, And under the dies section, I wanted to see if that is the Faith collection. So the dies under Faith collection, page 47. Then you take the little swipey thing up to page 47, and it's right here. Okay, so there is a cross, but it's different. This one has more of a wood grainy, and I should have known that, but I didn't remember that at that exact moment. And this one is from Laura Sullivan from Ohio, Ohio, Ohio. Enjoy today. This is from a Memories and More class. And I think, they look like little eggs. So, yay, she used the stickers on the inside. Good job. This is from Francis Rodriguez from Missouri. An Easter card using the everyday arches. You guys, those arches came back in stock, which was really cool. I think, no. And then they went out of stock. And now they're out of stock until like June 4th-ish. All right. They were hot. They're hot, and then they're cold, and they're hot, and they're cold. All right, and so she's got a pretty Easter card here. I love it. With those gems were from the O Holy Night Suite. This is from Kathy Kessler from Hilbert, Wisconsin. It was really cool. She did one of these cards, right? That goes like that. We did this for game night, but we did it as a vertical one. Angelique helped me get that one going. Very cool, using some of that Bee products. The Meant to Be and Cute as Can Be. Thanks, Pat Smothers. This is from Andy Acquisto, Grafton, Wisconsin. She used that Full Life Designer Series paper, and then some of the vellum that's purpley, and a little hello there you called. Is it me you're looking for? And I got a card in there with a purple Post-it note. Anna's a purple, Team Purple fan. This one is from Debbie Lindauer. So Debbie did porch pickup for some cards, which is really cool. She swings by on her way up in north from Milwaukee, and then she heads back down. She does porch pickup, which is so cool. And Nests of Winter, or Winterly Nests, is from the carryover paper, actually. It's in the Beekeeper's Guide now. All right, so there's from Debbie. And then I have two more here, you guys. This is from Barbara Godby. She did the Memories and More from Thoughtful Wishes. Thanks, friend. She did this class with me in Raleigh, actually, when I got to meet her. There are not enough words to say how thankful I am. And she put a little gem on the inside, which is super cool. And then Carla Bosselar, and she is from De Pere, Wisconsin. And she used, oh man, Oriental Garden. I think this annual catalog like 4 years ago. My guess, 3 years, 4 years, something like that. 21 maybe. Thanks, you made my day. And then she's got a little strip of designer paper. Mint macaron at its finest there. Very good. All right, so we made it through another round of Happy Mail. And I will admit, if you guys caught earlier, I got the flyaways going. Not worried about them, but it's like, and then, right? That's what we got to do. I have another little pile of mail upstairs. So once I go through and process my mail, I've not processed it since I've been back from Florida. Don't be mad. I have a pile of mail. I'll have more Happy Mail to go over with you guys. Next week, I have ink, paper, scissors on Thursday night. So I'll probably have another pile of Happy Mail to get through with you guys on Thursday. So it's always fun seeing the creativity that you guys send my way. It's always great to be able to share that with others, because you never know what will inspire somebody to make a card. And we need all the inspiration we can get these days, it seems, to keep us going. All right, so we did it. I got through Happy Mail. I got through cards. We went over all the things that have been going on in the Hive here. Tomorrow is another small kitting day. We've got 2 more cards we're going to kit, plus we're going to lay out some cards. And I'm going to do that at the same time that I have Stamp-A-Stack. So I haven't decided. I'm probably going to do Stamp-A-Stack upstairs so that the girls can talk and be loud as they want to be down here. And so you'll probably see me up in the mini hive tomorrow. So, whew, all right. 8:30. Okay, we did all right. All right, we did decent. So you guys, lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Okay, not Labor Day yet. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Do something fun. Get outside, enjoy the fresh weather, be in nature, make some cards, cook something good, clean the house, do the spring cleaning, whatever you got to do. Just take some time for you and enjoy it, right? Spend some time with the kids and the pets too, and the hubby and the significant other and whoever else, right? Whoever else is in your life, your family. So just do something good, bring some smiles to your faces and the people around you. You guys, we'll see you next week, Thursday, and I don't think that there's anything before that. Thursday, a showcase. definitely probably see you for the showcase. When I have the showcase figured out, you guys, you'll see a Facebook event. You'll see it updated on my events calendar. You'll also see an email, and there's somewhere else that I create a YouTube video for it, okay? So you'll definitely know the day and the time by at least the day before, all right? That's my plan for that. All right, good night, everybody. Love you a long time. Bye.